G'day, Patrick Stack here from ABC Sport Daily. If you love sport...
This year he seems like he's unbeatable and he goes into the Tour de France on paper, perhaps with no competition.
And great conversation.
Currently dancing in the huddle of celebration, and the hamstring seems okay.
Then you'll love ABC Sport Daily.
He probably deserves to play professional basketball.
ABC Sport Daily. Get it on the ABC Listen app.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL Premiership season.
AFL. On your radio.
On digital. And take us with you on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
It from the drama of the SCG or the Bulldogs' victory over the Kangas. Great to have you with us on this big Saturday of footy. Quentin Hull with you at Carrara. It's the Gold Coast Suns versus the Premiers Collingwood. Our next step on this huge Saturday of football, and certainly if you're at the SCG, a really tasty and important result for the competition there. Logan McDonald's late miss from outside 50, giving the Dockers a 1-point win and ending Sydney's 10-game winning streak. The Doggies keep the pressure on those around the top 8 and potentially top 4, getting over the Kangas by 17 points. And here, there is black and white aplenty in the stands. The Premiers are in town. The sold outside is out front of Carrara. It's Collingwood versus Gold Coast, and no changes to the selected teams. Joe Richards is the sub for the Magpies. Bailey Humphrey is the sub for Gold Coast. But at selection, haven't the Magpies just shown a little flex by bringing in Pendlebury, Myercheck, DeGoey, Markov and Joe Richards, all coming back from injury. The Gold Coast Suns get key forward Ben King back, but it's been an interesting story over the years, this fixture, and particularly only last year we saw a very similar storyline. Gold Coast yet again have put themselves in a position mid-season to push for a first-ever finals berth. Can they actually do it? Well, it's Damien Hardwick's first chance to do it this year. With Stewie Dew in charge last year, Collingwood thumped them in this corresponding game, which was around about the same time. So there's a similar storyline to what we've seen certainly 12 months ago, with these two teams looking for their own types of goals in 2024. The Pies have got a flag to defend, and the Suns have got new pastures to try and enter by making the top 8 for the first time. Quentin Hull to be joined by Michael Price calling the action. We've got the dual rucks going here. Jeff White and Matt Primus are your experts on ABC Sport. We'd love to hear from you on the SMS line 0437 774 774. Quick run into this one, gentlemen. Whitey, Matt, for those just joining us, welcome to you. We have been here before, it seems, 12 months ago. You were in the house when Collingwood destroyed the Suns in the first quarter, and it was the beginning of the end for Stuart Dew. Now it's Damien Hardwick's turn to face that music. He's got a few more credits in the bank, I think, than Dewey had at this time last year. And the Magpies, well, they just keep rolling towards putting themselves in a good position to defend the flag.
Had an amazing effort to, sitting fourth on the ladder with the injuries that they've had and the amount of players that they've had to use to fill spots and all those sorts of things. So amazing. And they've lost once in their last 9 road games. Now, I know the Pies don't travel too much, coming from a Victorian supporter here, but an amazing record. Full house. The Suns need to win a game out of the 8. They win this, they're knocking back on the door. And the Pies win this, and they nearly solidify a top 4 spot. So a huge game in the context of the season.
Are you a believer? What do you think today for Gold Coast? I mean, we're the guys that get to see the Suns in the flesh more than most. What are you thinking today?
I'll let you know after this game.
Oh, that's pathetic, Matthew.
It is terrible, isn't it? I've got my doubts just because of their form over the last couple of weeks. So I want to see if Dimmer's able to use whatever magic he has to be able to get and perform against a proper AFL team.
Okay, I'll get a proper... I'll go to a proper expert. Jeff, what do you reckon?
I think the Suns can win. Most important player up in the forward line is Frampton, because I reckon Collins is going to go on Myercheck, which will be a great matchup. But Frampton's going to get Mac Andrew. Mac Andrew's the most exciting halfback, and if he lets him loose, Suns will win.
The guns are back for the Premiers, and the Suns, who have not been beaten on this track in 2024, have got the eyes of the competition focusing in on them. It happens to Collingwood every week. It doesn't happen as much to the Gold Coast Suns. It's the biggest club game at Carrara for the season. and I hope you can enjoy it with us here on ABC Sport. A reminder that the Dockers got past the Swans by a point. The Dogs beat North by 17. Let's play Twilight Footy in round 16 on this Saturday. Michael Price.
Darcy Cameron taking on Jared Witts in the ruck, and a perfect bounce to start proceedings. Cameron immediately down to Nick Dacos. Couldn't pick it up first grab, did in the second. It's a speculating handball that's fisted straight back into the middle of the ground. Collingwood with a 2-on-1, but that 1-1, it was Tuke Miller. He won the toss, and they'll be kicking to the left as we're talking. Now Darcy Cameron picks it up for the Pies. Mongrel kick towards half forward, spoiled forward by Sam Collins. Now enter Matt Rowell onto the logo, commentary wing, and then Steele side bottom picked his pocket, gathered it, was tackled off it, still got the handball away to Quainer, then McCreary to right half forward. Mac Andrew. It's a push in the back. I thought he used his body reasonably well against Myercheck, but Myercheck will get the free kick, 70 out from goal at right half forward.
Brodie Myercheck, one of the host of players returning from injury. His first game since round 8. He chips backwards to Quaynor. Quaynor kicks it to Nikos. So the younger of the brothers with the football. 80 metres out half forward. He turns over his entry looking for the lead of DeGoey, but Rowell gets in the way to take the chest mark for Gold Coast. Defensive 50 left half back. Chips a short pass to Anderson. Noah Anderson takes the mark and kicks it out towards the boundary line. He's got Berry. He takes the grab. And the Suns just taking a moment or two to settle themselves. They were absolutely jumped in this corresponding fixture last year. Berry with the right boot. High kick to a pack at left half forward. Moore comes from behind to fist it down for Collingwood. At the row, Flanders wins it for Gold Coast. Hand pass to Swallow. Up and under kick from the veteran will come down on 50. Fisted away from the pack by Howe. Roved by Nick Dacos of Collingwood. Kicks it to the wing. McCreary can't gather first time, but kicks it off the deck once and twice. Now he and Andrew scurry after it as the ball runs along the deck to attacking 50. Lipinski arrives to get over it. He can't pick it up cleanly. Andrew forces the neutral for a moment. Yeah, Collins was about to walk away with the ball. Said no, we will ball it up. Left half back for Gold Coast, right half forward for Collingwood.
So as Jared Witts goes down there, also with Darcy Cameron, it's Witts who gets it down to Flanders, immediately tackled into the ground, and will ball it up in a similar spot. Jared Witts is creating a record for the Gold Coast Suns, most club games as captain, his 97th time as skipper of the Gold Coast Suns, overtaking Gary Ablett Jr. Now he wins the clearance through Tuke Miller. Chain of handballs, Jeffrey. They're back into the corridor. Ainsworth gives it over there to Close. He chips it forward now. Gets to Long inside 50 and missed Lukosius with the kick. Missed him by a couple of metres. Lukosius had a break on his opponent. It skids across the boundary line. We'll get a throw in the right forward pocket.
There's those half forwards coming up for the Suns. Jeffrey, Ainsworth getting involved with that connection to half back line.
Boundary throw in at the big screen end. Witts to the front of the pack, taps down. Josh Takos the road, but his hand pass stolen by Flanders. Outside of the boot, snap from Flanders is the first score. It's a minor score for Gold Coast. And we've played 3 minutes. Just looking to that big red flag, the opened big screen end. It's favouring Collingwood a little bit down towards the south.
So play on Jeremy Howe. Oh, his kick's cut off there beautifully. It was Nick Holman who flew across and took it. Now it's going to be 50. Somebody's gone through the demarcation zone. Didn't quite see who infringed there, but it's going to be a 50, and Holman will be marched up to basically the goal line.
I think the Collingwood play on the mark after the command was given. He took a step to his right, and that cost him the 50, I think, Pricey.
I'll have a look at the replay, but Jack Crisp, you're right, Matty Primus was on the mark. He should have been static and wasn't. Nick Holman can open proceedings for the Gold Coast here. Directly in front. Bangs it through. Suns get a start. 1-1-7. The Pies yet to score. 4 minutes gone, first term.
Very interesting to see. There's been 3 intercept marks there from the Suns. Turnovers from Collingwood. So that one with Howe, there was one from Nick Dacos, and there was another one from Quainer. So the ability to lower their eyes, that's what they're trying to cut off the Suns. So it shows that their structure, the defensive structure is set up really, really well. But the planning and the lowering their eyes of Collingwood, they're just trying to intercept those marks.
Yeah, Chris stood the mark, and Holman sort of crabbed a bit to his left as a left footer, and he just took it as if he was going to play on and move before the umpire had called it, and simple goal to open up for the Suns.
Plenty of black and white in the stands. Still a few vacant seats, although it is a sellout. Just people obviously not in their allocated seats for the start of the game, but can't get a ticket. The Magpies are in town. Centre bounce, neither ruckman get a hand. Pendlebury on return with a toe-poking clearance to half-forward. Lipinski picks up. He toe-pokes it towards full forward for Collingwood. A messy entry. It's on the deck. Suns win out. Flanders with a hand pass to Collins. Hands to Hewlin. Hanston. Holman under pressure. Gives the hand to Anderson, and now they're beyond defensive 50. Hand pass to Powell at right half-back as the Suns run it from defence. Hand pass to Rowell. Hand pass back to Hewlin on the outer wing. Now the kick from defensive side of the wing to half-forward, and Witch gets to the front of the pack to mark for Gold Coast. The ex-Magpie and co-captain of the Suns. Hand passes to Long, hands it to Miller on the boundary, 40 out, centering kick, and King meets the pack, clutches it cleanly, 15 out directly in front.
That's the best Gold Coast Suns play of the year right there. From there with D50 all the way through. Collingwood didn't even touch it.
What was it, 7 or 8 hand passes, Matt?
Yeah. The way they encouraged the defender to come in and then hand passed over.
So had a knee tweak, missed the trip west, back into the team, Ben King. Straight in front, kicks Suns' second goal of the day. And that's now 39 for the season for the Gold Coast Spearhead, and Gold Coast get the jump. 2-1, 13-0 through 6 minutes. If you have just joined us, drama at the SCG with Logan McDonald missing a long set shot. Didn't score, or a score would have drawn it. A goal would have won it. And because he didn't score. The Dockers won by a point there. Doggies beat the Kangas by 17 at Docklands.
Yeah, as we mentioned, some great handball chains. I think Whitey mentioned the first one off half-back. That got the Suns an inside 50 in that time there. It's just that the ability to run and draw and get the overlap. And we know the Pies defenders love to come forward and put pressure on, but they're a step too late, and the Suns have had 2 easy inside 50s that have been uncontested. Interesting tactic, the handball, because the Pies are one of the best tackling teams in the comp, but at the moment they haven't been able to slow the Suns down at all.
3 inside 50s for the Suns, 3 scores, 2-1-13. The Pies yet to score. Back into the middle, Witts gets the tap down. It's Rowell with the clearance, curls it around with the right foot to half forward. Pies with a chance through hands. Noble gives it across to Sullivan, back to Noble. He did well, kept running. Nice kick towards the wing. Well done by Sidebottom to bring it to ground. Sexton burst onto it. It's going to be a free kick back. Will play.
On spoil from Steel Sidebottom's the ruling.
That was an incorrect spoil. There you go. He's taken the arms of Nick Holman, who now gets the kick. Left footer towards half forward. King got his way in front, in double grabber, and he got a free kick for a chop of the arm from Frampton. He's 70 from goal at left half forward. Ben King taking his time. He's got Swallow leading out at the top of the square. Looks longer for Lukosius, and dropping back there, Frampton repays his team. Takes a beautiful defensive mark in front of the pack.
True fullback Billy Frampton. He's pointing towards the broadcast wing. Strolls to the pocket, and now lays his right boot into a long kick. But it's a Gold Coast mark in the pack to Ballard. 3-on-2 to the Suns in that pack, but Ballard really almost uncontested. Takes the grab. Suns ready to go back into attack. Ballard just forward of the wing. Sets it up with a right foot kick, which will come down about 30 out. King crashes the pack, can't mark. Ground level, Miller Rose for Gold Coast. Hand pass to Holman. Hand pass out the back, stolen by De Goey of Collingwood. And he runs away from half back. Chips it to the wing out in front of McCreary. Sexton chasing him. McCreary gathers near the boundary. Gets his boot to it, kicks to attacking 50 and beyond. Mychek gathers the bouncing ball in the pocket. Gets around a defender. Uses his left boot and kicks a brilliant goal on return from injury to open Collingwood's account at Carrara. King from the back, started by one bloke coming back from injury, finished by another. Gold Coast 2-1-13. Collingwood 1 straight 6. 9 minutes played first term.
You just got to love their offensive running from Collingwood. They just spread. They just created that space. Hey, if it doesn't come off, it doesn't matter. You're taking the defenders with you. You're spreading the defence, and exactly what they did. And Mychek, what a finish on his left.
Yeah, Collins left him there to come and try and put pressure on, but he wasn't able to get to the contest at all because those two guys running inside forward 50 were far too quick, and then Mychek was able to get the one over the top. But still, as you mentioned, Whitey, an amazing finish. An exciting game. 2 teams moving the ball very quickly early on.
So De Goey back from the ab injury, first game since round 10. Mychek game since the hamstring problem of round 8. Two big names combining for the Pies.
Back into the middle. It's Witts who wins it down to his own feet. Couldn't quite pick it up. Cameron joins him and the ball gets stuck underneath the two big men just forward of the centre circles to the left, and we'll have another ball up. Umpire throws it up very quickly to clear the congestion. Witts, beautiful tap down to Flanders. Off a step, inside 50. King broke away. He broke away from Frampton, got the drop of the ball, takes the mark 40 metres out. It's a very slight angle to the left.
He's a problem for Frampton right now. King is a big problem for him. But it's also the half forwards. They're working up for the Suns. They're working up and creating all that space for him. So this is where Darcy Moore and Collingwood backs are trying to come back and give him a chop out.
Coming back from a knee. He's already kicked one goal, Ben King. Second on the Coleman table. Let's go from 45. Umpire does a little bit of work, but it's straight enough. That's 3 goals up for the Suns. 3-1-19. The Pies 1 goal straight. 13-point margin. We played nearly 11 minutes of the first term on ABC Sport.
Just held that space, didn't he, Matty? He just knew where the drop of the ball was going to be. Held Frampton, held him there. Good leg strength, and then came at the ball. But yeah, there's a few issues there for Collingwood in the back line there with King.
And there's a lot of unpressured ball too coming in there, isn't there? So the Suns forwards are getting to lead wherever they want, and that makes life pretty difficult. They've started very well getting outside of Collingwood, the Suns mids.
He's taken three marks. He's taken 2 contested ones, so he's going for the mark. So Frampton's got to check him before it comes in.
Jeff White, Matt Primus, your experts on ABC Sports. So that now equals Ben King's return as far as goals are concerned from last year. He's up to 40 for the year. He kicked 40 last season. His best was pre-knee 2021 when he kicked 47 in the year. But it looks like he's headed for a career best year in that regard. Crisp from centre bounce time gets the clearance for Collingwood. Hand pass doesn't find a teammate. Powell gets the ball, gets tackled immediately. Nice tackle from Harrison to wrap him up. We'll see a neutral and a ball up in the middle. Cameron with first hand for Collingwood, roved by Crisp. Toe poke towards attacking 50 for the Pies. Collins will beat my check for the ball, wins it for the Suns. Hand pass to Hewland under pressure. His kick ricochets off a player and goes out of play. Boundary throw in. Left half forward for Collingwood. Right half back for Gold Coast. Just a hint of natural light around. By the way, how's the weather been this week in southeast Queensland?
Ridiculously good. 20 odd degrees right now at Carrara. Beautiful afternoon for footy. Throw in across half forward for the Pies. Witts couldn't quite get the big slipper to it out there. De Goey curls it around from 40. Well, oh boy, just to the left. Clipped the post. One behind to Collingwood. 1-1-7. Trails 3-1-19 to the Suns. It's a 12-point ball game in favour of the local side.
He doesn't need much room, does he? That was so quick on his boot.
Long with a short kick in, marked by Anderson in the right back pocket. Players on with a hand pass to Powell. 1-2 exchange with Anderson. Hands it to Flanders, hands it to Long. They run it out of defence again. Now that's Jeffrey who's received it, in fact. The wide hand pass. Graham got it near the boundary line and then ran into Closey. And that pair bumped off each other and the ball went out of play.
Interesting, this handball connection they're doing off the half back line. It'd be interesting to see what Collingwood, how they adjust that for the second quarter.
Throw in on the Nerang River wing, outer side of Carrara. Witts gets it down. De Goey overruns it. Flanders dived on it. Could be pink for holding the ball here. Very unlucky, the Pies there. Holding onto him was Sullivan and Darcy Cameron, who gets up and contests this one with Jared Witts. Witts again gets the hit out. Flanders gets it out to Closey. Closey lowers the ice. Beautiful kick to Sam Day on a lead in front of Darcy Moore. One of the original Suns, Day, kicks it to right half forward. Ben Long couldn't quite take it. Gathered again, gave it back to Berry. Berry curls it around. There's going to be a free kick back where that contest happened, and it's going to go to Collingwood. Looks like Maynard or Jeremy Howe will be the recipient. It's going to be Howe at left half back for the Pies. Couldn't quite see what that one was for. Maybe a throw from Ben Long or an illegal disposal.
Anyway, Collingwood's ball at left half back. Howe with a long ball down the Nerang River wing. Ballard to the front of a 2-on-2 takes a great mark. He's one of the better intercept markers in the game, Charlie Ballard. called to play on. He's on the edge of the centre square, outer wing. Kicks a long ball inside 50, long with a fly from the back of the pack. Got a hand, couldn't mark. Markov rose for Collingwood. Hand pass got to Moore. Hands it on to De Goey. He'll kick the Pies out of defence into the middle of the ground where there is space for Kruger. Marks, plays on, kicks to a 2-on-2 inside 50. Hill decides not to mark. Taps it to the advantage of Myercheck, who soccers it through. Brilliant forward craft from the Magpies. Myercheck's got two, but the Bobby Dazzler had a hand in it. Gold Coast 3-1-19 to Collingwood's 2-1-13.
What about that spot from Tagoe into the middle with Kruger? Just a wonderful awareness. I think he might have come off the bench, to be honest. Great interchange there, but Tagoe to just see that and then the follow-up. Myercheck, I love Myercheck's work rate. He's outstanding.
Yeah, Sam Collins at the gamble, didn't he, Matt?
He had to come off his man to help because Ballard was one-on-one and unfortunately wasn't able to kill the ball, and the ball went over the back, and Myercheck got his second one through that. But definitely the Suns are trying to congest it up and get lots of numbers as a contest. When the Pies can get out, they're making them pay, but it's also helping the Suns score too by getting inside.
Do you think it was a deliberate tap from Hill, the way I called it?
Yeah, definitely. He turned his body that way, absolutely.
Yeah. Good ruck contest here, but there's been a whistle on play. It's going to come back. It's going to be a Gold Coast Suns free kick.
It was one of those Jack Revolt, Richmond in their pomp type of...
Yes, no stat to it, but important goal assist.
Got some special skills, Bobby Hill. Don't worry about that.
I think the crowd, though, wanted to hang.
Sexton now with the ball on the outer wing, kicks it to Flanders. This is disposal number 8 for Flanders. He kicks it into the pocket, looking for Ben Long. Darcy Moore floats across the front of the contest, kills the contest, puts it over the boundary line. We'll get a throw in the right forward pocket for the Suns. They lead by 1 straight goal. How's about the handball count? It was 24-9. They're really using it to run.
Ball's tossed in. Kruger and Lukosius, the ruckman. Markov does the roving for Collingwood, but's tackled immediately by Long. Oleg Markov thought his footy career was going to back to some type of park footy level when he left the Suns before Craig McRae called. There's a premiership pie now. There's a stoppage free kick going Collingwood's way here, and Nikos will get clear. Nick Dacos for Collingwood got the free kick, kicks it to right half back. Plainor draws 2, punches it to McCreary's advantage. He roves on the wing, takes on the tackler, holding the ball. Closey with a brilliant one-on-one clamp to win the free kick for the Suns.
He didn't overcommit then. He just held his ground and then went straight at him when he knew he'd stop. Great tackle.
Sam Closey conservative with the kick infield to Noah Anderson, just forward of the left half back flank for the Suns. Not much movement in front of him, so he runs forward a few paces, kicks a high ball to the left half forward flank. Day does the roving for Gold Coast. Hand passes to Berry. Quaynor tackles him. He and ball over the line. Shout out for Isaac Quaynor. 100th game for the former Oakley Chargers under-18 player and one of the academy recruits for Collingwood.
Throw in at left half forward for the Suns. It's well done by Cameron, who got in front of Lukosius there. It was a bit of a hold. Umpire says nothing doing. Enter McCreary. He's tackled really hard by Rowell into the ground. The ball stuck underneath that pair of balls, and the umpire's going to throw it up right in front of us between commentary wing and left half forward for the Suns. Lukosius from the clearance, tackled off it by Pendlebury. It ends up with Graham for the Suns inside 50. Maynard aggressively at the contest as he does, fists it back towards the boundary line. Quaynor now, handball outside of 50 to Nick Dacos. Measured a pass to Myercheck at the back of the contest. Pendlebury slapped it into the path of Bobby Hill. This is where the heart rate goes up. Hill opened his eyes. He saw a teammate. It was Will Hoskin-Elliott in the goal square who bangs it through for the Pies. Scintillating football on the counter-attack from the visiting team. 3-1-19 apiece. 19 minutes gone first term.
It's outstanding to watch. Just the way they work rate running forward. And Hoskin-Elliott came from the far wing. He was on the far wing and then just accelerated forward, and that's where it spreads his defence. If he doesn't get used, someone will take that space. Sensational effort there from Collingwood. But what about a kick from Nick Dacos to come through the middle? Risky kick, but put it the favoured side of Pendlebury, and then Pendlebury just punched it on. Great awareness there.
Well, what's hurt the Suns also is I reckon 3 or 4 spoils have done. They've let them over the back, haven't killed the ball to the front. When it gets over the back, the Pies speed has made them pay.
At Primus and Jeff White, your company. It's Carrara for Twilight Footy on ABC Sport, 3-1-19 apiece. Witts clearly beats Kruger at ruck time. Tap down to Anderson. He's tackled, but hand passes over the back of his head. Rowell wins a hard ball, rides the tackle of Noble to hand pass to Flanders. Hands it to Miller. They get to 50. Miller's kick to the goal mouth out the back. Lukosius, a chance or the bounce evades him. Quaynor there in a time of need to pick it up for Collingwood. Hands it to Moore. His hand pass to Harrison close to the boundary line, and he can't keep it in. And we'll see a boundary throw in the right back pocket for Collingwood, the left forward pocket for the Suns. Underneath the big scoreboard here at Carrara, which reads 3-1-19 apiece through 20 minutes.
Umpire hurls it in the pocket, bounced off hands of Kruger into the arms of Maynard. He kicks it straight down the middle of the ground. Well taken by Mac Andrew. He's got a player at right half forward, finds him in Ainsworth. Still 70-odd from goal. Just about every player on the paddock in front of him as well. Now he just pops it up. He's got a lead and finds Graham at right half forward, right on the arc of 50. Josh Dacos standing the mark. He lowers his eyes. Ainsworth ran back inside 50 and received the pass. He'll have to have a shot from 55. He's turned his back on proceedings like he's going back for a shot regardless. Every player on both sides forward of the centre circles here at Carrara.
That's where those half forwards come in and play there, Pricey.
Ben Ainsworth. He'll have to let this go from 55. He runs around the man on the mark in Lipinski, and he kicks it out of bounds on the full. This is a home game for the Gold Coast Suns, but the Bronx cheers.
Yeah, the only sounds of home that the Suns will get is if they've got a speaker of the crashing waves at surface, because it sounds like Victoria Park as Moore runs from the pocket to kick long to a 2-on-2. Noble was the target, couldn't take the grab. Rao makes the spoil. He's got help there at ground level from Holman. Wins the footy, rides a tackle, hand passes out the back to Berry, hands to Miller, hands it back to Rao. Suns with it on the wing. Rao hand passes infield to Jeffrey. Here's the kick. Jeffrey deep to full forward. Lukosius the target. Intercept mark. Oh, Moore had 2 bites of it, couldn't control it, but the ball ricochets back to the Collingwood skipper. He's got it. Hand pass to Maynard, hand pass to Noble, hand pass to Quaynor, hands it to Harrison. They run it around the boundary line to right half back. Crisp, the next one. He hand passes to the wing and it's turned over. Ballard meets the ball, but he's wrapped up in a 3-man Collingwood tackle. And after all of that, well, the Pies get out of trouble, but there'll be a ball up just forward of the wing for the Suns.
19 points apiece here at Carrara in the first term. Clearance with the Suns. Oh, Will Powell took his time to go. He tackled him holding the ball. Aggressive, good tackling from De Goey, making his return to the Pies side. That's 16 tackles to 7 so far in the first quarter in Collingwood's favour. Now on the commentary wing, he measures a pass beautifully. Good lead too from Bobby Hill. He's 70 from goal though. He's right on the boundary line at right half forward.
There was absolutely no rust in that pass.
De Goey made him lead there.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's another one. Myercheck was just having a look, and Hill just put it into his path and said run to this one. He takes it 40 out, but he's right on the boundary line. It's Will Hoskin-Elliott, in fact, right on the boundary line with Mac Andrews standing the mark, exasperated. Now he lowers his eyes. There's a pass on back to Hill. Spoiled by Graham. Hill tackles him. Now Rao's got the ball. His rush kick collected by De Goey from a standing start. He couldn't do that from 45. He curls it to the goal line, and it's punched through for a behind. 20 plays 19, Pies by a point.
Suns are onto that. There's a set play with Collingwood. When they're on the boundary, they've got a mark. They try and they line up as though they're going to kick the goal. Then they try and get someone in square it.
Sexton's kick into D50. Andrew marks at left half back, kicks it to the wing, and Holman takes the grab. Easy transfer to halfway for the Suns. Holman plays on. Hand passes to Miller. Draws a man, hand passes to Day. 80 out. Day's kick to the pocket, errant. And Frampton leaves his man to take the mark for Collingwood uncontested in the right back pocket. Short kick infield marked by Noble. I wonder if his dad's here. He had a place in the hinterland of Gold Coast, David. I wonder whether he's about today. Short pass from John to Nick Dacos. Takes the mark, and no one's running at him. So he has a two-handed bounce at right half-back. Now kicks it to a 2-on-2 on the wing. Spoils made by Kruger on Collins, and the ball goes out of play. Boundary throwing between wing and right half forward for Collingwood. Quentin Hull and Michael Price calling the action. You're with ABC Sport. Twilight footy in this round 16. Collingwood 3-2-20. Lead Gold Coast 3-1-19.
The throw in, and Cameron gets it over the top of Witts. Rove there by Nick Dacos. Curls it inside 50. McAndrew with the big spoil. At ground level, Tuke Miller runs away with it. Flares it across half back to find Closey. He's 55 out from his own defensive goal at right half back. Now he just slows it down. Wants to find Sexton just short of centre wing on the outer side. He takes off now. Looks to half forward. Swallow. Fisted it down. Clever tap from Ben Long and gets in there to Lukosius, who hooks it back inboard. Dropped there by Cameron. The chance for the Gold Coast at ground level, but Noble now shuffles it out. He got it to Flanders, though, unfortunately, for the Pies. He dribbles one from the top of the goal square. It narrowly evades the right goal post, and it is a goal for the Suns. Therefore, 4-1-25 to the Pies, 3-2-20. It's a 5-point lead, and we played 26 minutes first quarter.
What a start he's had. 9 possessions, kicked the goal there. And once again, that wasn't a real handball chain. There was a kicking chain, but their ability to keep the ball flowing and keep it moving is putting the Collingwood defenders under pressure. And while it was the first inside 50 was pretty ugly, they scrapped and found their way. And the Collingwood backs are under extreme pressure because the ball is flowing and there's no pressure from the Collingwood mids up the ground. They're doing it really well at the moment, the Suns.
It was a patient build-up, wasn't it? They just got the numbers on a 45 degree and used the ball quite well and put it to a dangerous spot, top of the goal square.
These two teams on this fast track, love the way that they're using the space.
I love the skill level. Is unbelievable.
It's a really good game to watch so far. And look out to the pink hue above the Surface Paradise skyline as the sun sets on this gorgeous southeast Queensland Saturday. Suns with the clearance from the middle. Anderson 1-2 hand pass change with Flanders. A poor kick inside 50. It goes through Noble of the Pies, but Markov cleans up. Hand pass intercepted by Flanders. Markov knocked him off the ball. Play on. Rowell dives in. Wins it. Gets gang tackled. Ball up. 45 metres from Gold Coast's goal. Quickly tossed in the air. Give that one, maybe Cameron over the top of Witts. Anyway, rowed by Lipinski of Collingwood. He gets them clear with a kick from half back to the wing. Hoskin Elliott leads Andrew to the ball. Hoskin Elliott's got it for Collingwood on the wing. Kicks to attacking 50. Kruger's in space and takes the mark 45 metres from goal.
Yeah, Collins and OK, he's just very aggressive with his positioning, and once they're able to get out Collingwood, he's getting done a few times over the top. They'll keep asking him to play like that, but it's costly when there's no pressure on the ball coming in.
Nathan Kruger worked really hard to get his opportunities at AFL level. This is just his 3rd game of the year and 12th of his career. I doubt he's ever played a Friday night game on the 13th. That's one thing that I'm sure everyone's waiting for Kruger to achieve. Penny kick a goal for Collingwood here. Left foot, 50 out. Bang! Hard into the post near side point. That slammed into the post. It's wobbling down there.
It was flush.
Yep. 4 points to lead to Gold Coast. 4-1-25 to 3-2-21. 3-3-21.
They brought the ball back in very quickly, the Gold Coast. Now sitting with Jeffrey. That's a pinpoint pass in front of the interchange gates to Ben Ainsworth. That's forward of left half back here at Carrara. It's a beautiful evening for footy. Looks like an Alfred Hitchcock movie with all the magpies sitting in the stands. They bring the crowds. Don't worry about that. Long kick, and it comes off hands to Lukosius. He's tackled, still gets a kick away. It's cut off by Noble there at half-back. Handball to centre half-back to Pendlebury. Nice hands too, side bottom. Mongrel of a kick from Steele, but it's straight down the middle. Once again, Collins comes off his man in Degoe. Gathers. Nice handball back to McAndrew. Sold the dummy, got it back to Collins under pressure from Degoe. Collins now under more pressure towards the boundary line. Good mark taken by Hoskin Elliott. Lowering the eyes. Hits Degoe. That's great pressure from the Pies. It caused the turnover, and now it's going to cause the shot for this superstar Degoe.
Hoskin Elliott, is he the most underrated forward in the game? He has been unbelievable in this first quarter. He's kicked a goal already, but he set up Kruger, that last one, and then set up Degoe there. Jeez, his foot skills are elite.
His 6th disposal, Jordan Degoe. 4 score involvements already. From 45 metres out, He makes no mistake. That's a beautiful kick. Pies back in front. 4-3-27 to the Suns, 4-1-25. 29 minutes gone here in the first quarter at Carrara. Got a great game so far.
We certainly have, Price. What about Sidebottom's kick? He was unpressured through the middle of the ground, but I reckon he deliberately kicked just a mongrel drop punt along the ground to take away Andrews and Collins' aerial ability. And once the ball was on the ground, to go, he put pressure on the two Suns defenders, forced a turnover, and then was smart enough to be able to lead back up and then have the energy to kick a beautiful goal.
At the moment, it looks more like a game style that you guys played at the start of your careers. It's pretty open and flowing, isn't it? 8 goals in this first quarter. Fast deck here.
They're just when they're going forward to centre, seems to be a lot of just one-on-one.
Too much space, doesn't it, Waddy?
So much space.
Good to watch.
Yeah, the half forwards are coming right up and giving them a lot of space.
More of it, I say. Jeff White and Matt Primus with you on ABC Sport. No telling clearance at the stoppage. Ball rumbles to the edge of the square. Dacos and Miller tangle. Flanders picks up. Gold Coast get it. He hand passes to Holman out on the wing. Under pressure. Rush kick to attacking 50. Crisp flies over the pack for Collingwood. Drop the mark. Has it stolen by Flanders. From 50 he kicks the Suns to full forward. Day the target. Spoils the pack. Roving there for the Suns is Closey, hands it defensively to Sexton, who evades an opponent, has a shot on goal and misses to the right for a behind. That halves Collingwood's advantage. It's 4-3 to 4-2. Pies in front, getting close to quarter time.
Jeremy Howe stands in the goal square for the Pies, signalling where he's going to go, and that's going to be out to the commentary wing in front of us here. Collins breaks away, takes a nice mark in front of Kruger. Right in front of us, he wants to play on quickly. Wheels around the right foot, inside 50. Swallow in front position. Great spoil by Howe. It goes back out to the arc. Oh, Lipinski gathers, tackled by Tuke Miller. Got it out there to Noble. Noble back across to Josh Dacos. His grubber. Well, it was like two giant gorillas having a crack at each other. Darcy Cameron and Jared Witts, they both avoided the ball. It went over the boundary line and will get a throw in at left half forward for the Suns.
Seems an eon ago that Jared Witts was a Collingwood player. It seems an eon ago that Rodney Eade was the Gold Coast coach. But that's how Witts ended up here. Rodney Eade liked Jared Witts' time at the Pies, and that's the end of the quarter as Holman or Noble can get the clearance from that boundary throw in. And that's an entertaining half hour of footy to get this big game underway in twilight footy in front of a sold-out crowd at Carrara. The natural light is starting to fade and the artificial floodlights taking effect. And it's Collingwood leading by a point. And a couple of the returning stars have got their name on the scorers list in the first quarter. Brodie Myercheck has kicked 2 goals. Will Hoskin Elliott's kicked a goal. Jordan De Goey has kicked the other. While for Gold Coast, therefore, 2 to Ben King, Nick Holman and Sam Flanders have kicked the others. Collingwood 4 goals, 3-27. Lead Gold Coast 4-26. Drama at the SCG earlier today. The Swans' 10-game winning run ended by the Dockers. Fremantle won by a point. They led all day pretty much. Logan McDonald had a set shot from beyond 50 after the full-time siren. Goal to win it, behind to draw it. He fell short. It pitched in the pocket. Didn't make the journey. So the Dockers won it 15-9-99 to Sydney's 14-14-98. While the Doggies keep their presence around the contenders with a 17-point victory over North Melbourne. Western Bulldogs 11-11-77 to the Kangas 9-6-60. And as we're back to 9 games a weekend, no buys, plenty of footy. Still 2 games to come on this Saturday, with Adelaide hosting Greater Western Sydney at the Adelaide Oval and Geelong to host Essendon at the MCG. It's an MCG home game for the Cats. In the NRL, the New Zealand Warriors have won the first game of the day. There are 3 games in the league today. The Warriors have beaten the Brisbane Broncos. That's now 4 losses in a row for last year's grand finalists, the Broncos. The Warriors, who were thumped by 60 last week, won it. Warriors 32, Broncos 16 to come. It's the Knights and the Eels next up, and then the Storm play the Raiders later on today. And a reminder, not only Wimbledon coming your way on Monday on the Listen app, if you want to stay up late tonight, of course, that World T20 cricket final over in the Caribbean with India taking on South Africa. Quarter time at Carrara. Collingwood leading by a point on ABC Sport.
So what's the most entertaining thing about sport?
All the stuff that goes on beyond the final whistle, of course.
Correct.
In a brand new show, Tony Armstrong and Catherine Murphy go deep into the weekend's biggest stories with special guests and self-confessed fanatics.
Join us for the weekend that was in sport.
Heads up for Monday's Experts.
That's us, Tony.
Of course it is.
I knew that.
Monday's Experts, 9:35 Monday nights on ABC TV and streaming on ABC iView. Wimbledon 2024 on ABC Sport. Hear it live every night on the ABC Listen app. Just search for the tennis button. This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL season. Every match on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
Ham passes to Long, hands it to Miller, on the boundary, 40 out, centering kick, and King meets the pack, clutches it cleanly, 15 out directly in front. So had a neat tweak, missed the trip west, back into the team, Ben King. Straight in front, kicks Suns' second goal of the day. McCreery gathers near the boundary, gets his boot to it, kicks to attacking 50 and beyond. Mychek gathers the bouncing ball in the pocket, gets around a defender, uses his left boot and kicks a brilliant goal on return from injury to open Collingwood's account at Carrara.
To Flanders, off a step, inside 50, King broke away. He broke away from Frampton, got the drop of the ball, takes the mark 40 metres out, it's a very slight angle to the left. Then King, let's go from 45. Umpire does a little bit of work, but it's straight enough. That's 3 goals up for the Suns.
Kicks to a 2-on-2 inside 50. Hill decides not to mark. Taps it to the advantage of Mychek, who soccers it through. Brilliant forward craft from the Magpies. Mychek's got 2, but the Bobby Dazzler had a hand in it.
At the back of the contest, Pendlebury slapped it into the path of Bobby Hill. This is where the heart rate goes up. Hill opened his eyes. He saw a teammate. It was Will Hoskin-Elliott in the goal square who bangs it through for the Pies. Scintillating football on the counter-attack from the visiting team. Good mark taken by Hoskin-Elliott. Lowering the eyes. It's De Goey. That's great pressure from the Pies. Jordan De Goey from 45 metres out. He makes no mistake. That's a beautiful kick. Pies back in front.
The 2024 AFL Premiership season.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Good game to watch this one so far at Carrara. ABC Sport, your seat in the stands here on this lovely Saturday afternoon, which is ebbing closer and deeper into the evening. Collingwood lead Gold Coast 4-3 to 4-2. Quentin Hull joined by Michael Price to call the action. Jeff White and Matt Primus are your experts. Fun to watch that first 30 minutes or so. But, gentlemen, what will Damien Hardwick and Craig McRae be talking about at their huddles?
Well, I think the number one thing for Dimmer would be the Pies have had 8 inside 50s for 7 shots, and he wouldn't like that. And I think Whitey brought it up that a lot of the time when they've gone in, it's been one-on-one, and that's Collingwood's deep forwards are pretty hard to defend one-on-one, so I think he'd be looking forward to trying to drop off one of their high half forwards, which is dangerous in itself, but they need some support there because that efficiency is far too high, and he wouldn't be too happy with that. On the flip side, he'd be loving their time in the front half. They're dominating the inside 50s, generating enough shots for them. They're just not being able to put enough pressure when Collingwood do blitz away, so I'm sure he's made an adjustment there where the Pies will be looking forward to trying to own a little bit more of the ball. They didn't have enough of the ball there, and the Suns were able to own the ball and get some easy inside 50s their way. But as you mentioned, Q, a really entertaining first quarter. Both teams are moving the ball really quickly, and it's great to see the scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah, it's just a high forwards for both sides. Lipinski, and you've got McQuarrie, you've got De Goey, all coming up, creating that space going forward for the Pies.
We start the second quarter with the Collingwood side in front by a point. They win this clearance. Josh Dacos monstered off it though. Will Graham now tries to escape. Great tackle, Crisp. Holding the ball, free kick Collingwood, advantage paid. Nick Dacos towards the wing now. Handball to Steele side, bottom lowers the eyes. Oh, Anderson went back for the Gold Coast, cut in front of Mychek and took a defensive mark. Kicks it back to the goal square to find Bodie Hewland, the young man from Broadbeach, standing there in the goal square and taking his time.
Very short pass to Ballard at fullback. And Ballard's going to kick it back to Hewland, who's in the left back pocket. He'll have a run. There's no one on the mark. Chips a short ball to Miller at left half back D50. His kick is half volleyed by Sexton at half back, but they play on. Hands it to Hewland. Hand pass to the wing for Flanders. And again, the Suns get it to halfway and beyond through handball. Next man is Ainsworth. He runs forward to the wing. Kicks to attacking 50. Now, there's a free kick going to Howe against Long.
Yeah.
Yep, Howe got nudged out of that looming 2-on-2 marking contest. And the veteran Collingwood high flyer Jeremy Howe will take the free kick. Defensive 50, right half back. He kicks long to the Nerang River wing and a pack. Cameron the target, Witts fists away. On the deck, Flanders mops up. He's had a huge start for the Suns. Hand passes to Ainsworth, left half forward. Hands it around the boundary line from Holman on to Anderson. Hand pass infield. Lukosius meets it on the half volley. Can't gather under pressure from Maynard. Then Quainer arrives to lock it up for Collingwood. And we'll see a ball up 40 from the Suns' goal.
I know we didn't go through this. That's 16, I think Flanders has had already.
Yep, 15 Whitey and 4 clearances, so he's really racking them up so far. The clearance goes with Collingwood here. Side bottoms handball to Crisp, set a task to him, so he hacked it off the deck towards the outer wing. It's mopped up there by Ballard for the Suns, looping handball again to Holman. He's got Bertie Hewland running for him. He sold the dummy, went inboard on the left foot, and that was costly because Maynard gathered it very low around the ankles, took the mark. Did well at right half back for the Pies. Now aggressively goes into the middle of the ground. Myercheck took it in front of Collins. A long way up the ground, Myercheck. He turns, goes for De Goey against Sexton. De Goey used his body beautifully. Went to kick it off the deck from just inside the boundary line. It should be out of bounds on the full and is. It's going to be a free kick to Will Powell. Oh no, it's going back there to Sexton.
I thought he was the ball was out when he kicked it.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And De Goey was asking that question of the umps, but free kick stands for the Suns. Short kick to Anderson, marks at left half back. Now the long ball towards the wing. Moore gets to the front of the pack for Collingwood, but Flanders roves again, hands it to Ainsworth, breaks a tackle, runs infield, hands it to Graham, hands it to Miller, runs through 50, the co-captain from 40, can't finish the way that he would have hoped. He's kicked it across the face for a point which levels the scores. Sam Flanders is just getting leather poisoning. 16 possessions. We're 3 minutes into the second quarter. That's 4-3 apiece at Carrara.
Just his ability to win the footy in the contest and below his knees is outstanding.
Howe brings it in with a long kick. It was Mac Andrew, big spoil, and he went to go and gather his own crumb, took it over the boundary line, and we'll get a throw in at right half forward.
Those handball changes still causing concern. I don't know how many of that this quarter early, Pricey, but it's definitely making it hard for the Collingwood backs to defend.
We'll have a look at that one for you, Matty. Question without notice. Throw in at right half forward. Jared Witts gets it down. Oh, just overrun there by Anderson under hot pressure from Nick Dacos. Enter Lipinski. He's worried off the ball. Steel side bottom. Put a saddle on him in the old vernacular. He was all over young Closey there. And he gets the free kick, Closey.
A Closey counter of the steel kind.
Exactly right. 45-degree angle. I reckon it's very close to within this guy's wheelhouse too. Good kick of the footy.
I'll just write that down.
Game's too good to wait. It was just there, Jeff. You have to take the chance.
I love it.
He's kicked 6 goals straight in his career, Sam Closey. That's putting the pressure on him. He'll let go of this one from about 55. Strikes it nicely, but hooks it to the left. It's going to land in the pocket. Off hands. Witts at ground level. The Pies trying to push it through, and they do. It's a rugby maul through for one behind. That puts the Suns in front. 28 plays 27.
And Jeremy Howe, entrusted with the kick-in duties, spears a bullet to the 100-gamer. Quaynor takes the mark on defensive 50 at right half back. Pink boots shining as the natural light now is gone and the artificial light takes over. Quaynor with a kick to the wing. Myercheck's got 3 to beat. Collins makes the spoil for the Suns and wins the crump. Hand passes to Graham, rights the tackle of Dacos, hands to Miller. His hand pass fumbled by Anderson, but Anderson gets it back. Hands to Sexton, hands to Holman, hands to Flanders. They are handballing it out to attacking 50. The kick's over Long's head, close to the boundary line. Ainsworth can't keep it in. That handball count in the game is 63-34 in favour of the Suns.
Yeah, it's super. It's inviting Collingwood's pressure, but at the moment the Suns are they've been able to handle that pretty well, and their hands have been terrific in close.
You have to run in numbers, though. You need support from behind, and that's what they've got at the moment.
Throw in left forward pocket for the Suns. Witts in the front position. Oh, beautiful ruck work. And a great snap under a lot of pressure. That was it was Ben Long underneath there. Amazing how quickly he got his hand to boot. And the Suns get a goal to put themselves 7 points in front. 5-4-34 to 4-3-27. Jeff White, Matt Primus. Do you like that ruck work?
Yeah, I love this. This is a part that I really love. Sydney do this extremely well with their inside forward stoppages, but what a brilliant tap from Witts. But the setup, we saw one last night with Max Gawn. Just tapped it over the back and Cozzy ended up kicking the goal. But the set play to actually run a bit of confusion and then Long use him. And the best thing about it too is he's coming as a right footer. That allows that hit to come around on his right foot. Great setup by the Suns.
If you're not going to learn a thing or two about ruck craft with these two, you're not listening. Matt, what did you reckon?
Just shows you why they're the most important person on the ground. Very simple there, mate.
Jeff White and Matt Primus. Yeah, that was exceptional set piece.
Awesome.
From the throw-in. Gold Coast lead by 7 points. Centre bounce here. Witts wins the crumb to get the clearance for the Suns. A high kick to half forward. Long's got a couple to beat. Howe makes the spoil, but there's a whistle on play.
Holding the man.
It's a free kick going to Gold Coast, so it's against Howe. Ben Long's got the footy. Oh, he's half a chance here. He's a big kick and Howe's on the mark, 50 out. Long doesn't go for goal, kicks it to the lead of King, goes over his head, and Cameron takes the mark at fullback for Collingwood. King was beseeching that Darcy Moore had done something illegal to stop him getting a hand on that, but the ump wasn't buying. Cameron at fullback for Collingwood. High ball to right half back. Andrew gets to the drop. Harrison was just shepherded off that, and Mac Andrew takes the mark for the Suns, 60 out. Spearing ball dropped by Holman inside 50. He's got time to regather. Hand passes to the pocket for Long. Hands it to Ainsworth, who has a snap from the boundary line and misses near side for a point. Suns lead it by 8, 5-5-35 to 4-3-27. 8 minutes second term on ABC Sport. Twilight has become night at Carrara.
And the Pies bring the ball back in. It's with Braden Maynard, the long left footer towards the commentary wing. That's a good mark. No, was spoiled in the end there by Hill. No. Well, one umpire centrally, the closest one, didn't pay the mark, and the one 100 metres away did. So it is Will Powell who takes it on the commentary wing, right in front of the box here.
Dominating territory. This will be the 8th inside 50 to 1 for Collingwood. It's a terrific start to the second quarter for the Suns.
So Will Powell, his first game of the year, takes off, runs around the man on the mark. Long kick towards the pocket. Witts bumped out of it. Then he gets his hands to it. The big mitts. Darcy Moore holds him up along with Darcy Cameron. And the umpire will come in and throw it up very quickly. Cameron versus Witts. Cameron got it down. Got it to Noble, though, tackled by another bull in Rowley. Let loose the ball. Quaynor kicked it off the deck, picked up by Nick Dacos, handball to his brother Josh, then back over to Pendlebury. How about the class in that trio? Pendlebury corralled, got his left foot to it, bounced it back to commentary wing. It's a 2-on-1, but Powell leads to the ball for the Suns. Got the handball away to Collins, now Miller, looping one over the top to Closey, 60 from goal, back to Powell onto the arc, handballing the way through, Barassi style. It comes off into the Gold Coast, and then tackled off the ball. Dacos headers, now it's turned over, Gold Coast with a chance, and it's kicked out of bounds on the fall, under enormous pressure. Flanders.
This is great footy. This is great footy.
Well, I think we lost Teddy Hopkins not long ago, didn't we? And it's a bit like that, isn't it?
Handball, yeah, absolutely. Just Powell need to have a shot then. There's just that one too many handball.
Noble runs from the left back pocket to kick in for Collingwood, but Collins takes the mark. Got in front of Myercheck to mark it for the Suns forward of the wing. Gold Coast lead by 8 points.
Gold Coast have trapped Collingwood in their forward half. They just can't get it out.
Collins will kick it to a congested forward line to the pocket. Off hands in the pack. First to meet it. Well, Lukosius tried to tap it to his own advantage. Couldn't really gather. Swallows tackled by Quaynor. Collingwood comes away with the hand pass there from Sullivan. Now they get it to the wing. Dacos That's the Nick variety. Left boot to the wing, looking for DeGoey. Intercept mark taken by Powell of the Suns. And you're right, Jeff, they've stopped them. Powell's kick over the head of the leading target. Sexton at half forward, but out the back. Swallow Roves hands it to Witts. His short pass is chopped off by Noble, who marks in a time of need for Collingwood with that pass intended for Holman.
They've got great pressure on the ball queue, and that allows the Suns' backs to come off, and that's why the ball's not flowing.
So Holman now. Left foot towards the boundary. Braden Maynard takes it just inside the boundary. He's held up. Nobody running for him. Now Cameron makes the lead. That was a delightful kick. Good spoil by Sam Collins, though, over the big man, and thumps it towards the boundary line right in front of us, but it'll be a throw-in. 8 points the margin. The Suns lead. 11 minutes gone, second term here.
When it goes in the Suns forward line, the Collingwood love to switch it and love to get it out in the open space, but because the Suns are pressing them, they've got no exits and they have to come down the line.
Boundary throw in. Through centre wing. Witts to the front. Palms it in front of Rowell, but he's tackled by Jacos and Nikos. The brothers combined to stop him there. Ball spills towards the boundary. Picked up by Lipinski of Collingwood. Hand pass out the back to Pendlebury. Pendlebury kicks high to attacking 50 at 2-on-2 pack. No mark, but Myercheck first to Rove. Then he dropped the ball. Penalised for holding the ball under the tackle of Anderson. That was hot. Anderson with the free kick at half-back for Gold Coast. The Suns leading it by 8 points. He chips it to the right half-back flank. Sexton marks in space, rolls on, chips to the wing. Graham takes the grab. Will Graham, the 18-year-old in his 9th game, among this crop of young Gold Coast talent that's been brought to the Suns. He misses the kick infield to Anderson, stolen by Lipinski. Watch out. Pies on halfway. Lipinski short pass to Myercheck. Marks and hands it on from Nikos to Jacos. Josh has got it. Left half forward, 60 out. We'll kick it to full forward. Hill's got a couple to beat. Collins makes the spoil. Powell arrives. Hill keeps his footing. There's 3 around him, and not even he can create from that scenario with the boundary too close. Boundary thrown in the left forward pocket for Collingwood. Gold Coast 5-5-35 lead the Magpies 4-3-27. 13 minutes second term on ABC Sport.
So we're in the Collingwood forward line yet again. Myercheck this time against Lukosius. Myercheck used his body, gathered it at ground level, handball to Pendlebury under pressure, still got his foot to it, top of the square, off hands. Crisp couldn't do anything with it. Now Jeffrey gave it to Anderson. Took Miller, the run now of Jeffrey. He toes it out towards the wing. Ill-directed, cut off by Darcy Moore. Pies will bounce back, handball inboard to Josh Dacos, and then the kick sublime, hit side bottom, handball into Crisp, too hot for Crisp. Now into the Suns. Lukosius gathers, picks it up, kicks it to the outer wing. It's a one-on-one contest. It's going to be a free kick against Frampton, though, against Ben King. Ben King was held and will take the free kick on the logo outer side.
This is a genuine one-on-one battle. Have I gone into a time warp here? You've got a key forward in the face of a key defender there, Matt and Jeff. This looks like old-time 90s stuff. The kick to the edge of the centre square. Sexton's got it for the Suns. Deep entry, long the target in another one-on-one contest. Howe knocks it away. Oh, this is awesome footy to watch.
It is great footy, and the great thing about it then with the Suns, normally when you dominate territory, you get a score against, but they're able to survive that, and they are making Collingwood earn every single kick they got at the moment.
32 inside 50s to 16 in favour of the Suns, yet they only lead by 8 points here.
They do need a goal, Pricey, for all their dominance. They need to take advantage of trying to get a couple more goals ahead here, because you know that Collingwood are going to be able to score off a couple of quick inside 50s when they get their opportunity. 5
goals, 5-4-3 as the ball tumbles over the boundary line. We'll get another throw in the right forward pocket. The Suns are pressing, though. Massive players inside their attacking 50. Now there's been...
Maynard's gone down.
And there's a remonstration here against Ben Long.
Yeah, he punched him right in the stomach. That should be... what do they give that now?
Oh, yeah, heavy fine. It depends on which club you play for, I think.
Yeah, undisciplined. They had him pinned in there.
He's going to get the booze now, Longy.
Is it Braden Maynard would feel...
It was the Scott Pendlebury locking Neil open palm to the chest.
Yeah.
And what did Pendlebury get? A fine.
A fine.
Yeah.
Long kick now towards a contest. There's a one-on-one. That's against Mac Andrew. Yes, it was a hold, Mac. Don't worry about that. Darcy Cameron takes the free kick in front of the interchange gates.
Bit of heat in this one.
They're just starting to warm up a little bit here at Carrara. It's been a mild day for Gold Coast standards. A long kick from Cameron. Oh, half forward. Hoskin Elliott through his hands. Rode by Jeffrey. Burst through the pack. Gave the handball off to the run of Closey, then to Sexton. His nice pass down the line finds Berry. Berry's handball, he tried to beat Maynard. Maynard smothered it, took it over the boundary line, then took on Berry, then took on McAndrew, then took on Closey. Oh, he's got the chest out, Braden Maynard, and he's loving proceedings as we get a throw in 80 metres out at right half forward for the Gold Coast side.
Premiers who have won the equal most flags in competition history against a team that's never played finals. And it is awesome stuff at the moment at Carrara. The young Bucks trying to make a statement against the reigning champs. Foot of the pack, Cameron for Collingwood. His hand pass ricochets around, picked up by Gold Coast. Graham, hand pass to Lukosius. Kick to full forward as a mark. And it's taken by the original son, the bad in excess cover. David Swallow's got it straight in front. You know, I know Sam Day's playing, but he didn't make his debut until round 7 of that first season. Dave Swallow played in that first game against Carlton.
They were both playing in round 16, 2014 in the ill-fated Gary Ablett Jr. injury game.
There you go.
They were both the best two players on the ground for the Suns that night.
He spent a bit of sub-time this year, Dave Swallow. He's right in front here, this to give Gold Coast a 14-point lead. He has missed to the right. Oof. 9 points the lead to Gold Coast at 5-6-36.
The same before.
4-3-27.
Sorry, Q, you got to take your opportunities, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Take your opportunities against this side.
Now 33 inside 50s to 16 and only the 9 points. The lead for the Suns. The Pies holding up well as Frampton goes long down the corridor. McAndrew with the big spoil over Kruger. Promoted at 10 metres forward. Towed off the deck by Crisp. Cut off by Will Powell for the Suns. His handball cut off again by Sullivan. He's tackled into the ground. Boy, hot footy. Gathered by Witts. His handball to Hewland, who went around the big fella in Cameron. Handball now to Graham. Flanders, they rack it up to half forward. Berry now. He kicks it to the goal square. Here's a contest. Oh, well done. Pies defence. Darcy Moore sliding along the ground. Fisted it away. It rolled over the boundary line. We're going to throw in the right forward pocket.
The entries inside favouring the Suns. Credit to Collingwood. Oh, their defence is just unbelievable at the moment.
33 inside 50s to 16 and a 9-point lead for Gold Coast. Boundary throw in, Suns in attack. Witt spikes it in the air. Oh, Frampton is nailed by Long. Ball spills free. Lukosius is there to kick it through from the goal mouth. Billy Frampton's counting his ribs. Well, Jack Lukosius is celebrating with his teammates. Is that Ben Long who got him?
I think so, yeah.
Absolutely nailed him in an Origin-esque type tackle, and that's a 15-point lead for Gold Coast at 6-42 to 4-3-27. Waiting for this replay. Oh, yep. Ben Long. Take that to the MCG last Wednesday. Nailed him. That's a beauty. And Lukosius kicks the goal.
He's sitting duck, wasn't he?
Oh, how good has he been up forward?
Yep.
The Suns, Long.
Well, I love what the Suns are doing. They are making it a real game of footy. They're taking away time and space and a skillful game, and they're playing 7 forwards on occasions. They're just making it a contest and taking away all time and space for the Pies. And at the moment, while they are defending their back 6 well, they're not handling the heat from the Suns.
So 15 points the margin now in favour of the Suns, starting to get some nourishment on the scoreboard. Crisp works hard for the Pies to try and extract it, but he's taken there by Rowell, who gathers the ball himself. He's held by Pendlebury and will get a ball up. Cameron versus Witts again. Cameron gets it down. Lipinski can't drag it in. Cameron did. Got it over to Crisp, who fisted it forward. Oh, clever from Hill into the path of McCreary. Gets the arc. De Goey into the path of Hoskin Elliott. Harlem Globetrotter stuff from the Pies, but it's cut off there by Jeffrey. He gets around his opponent, kicks it to the wing. Berry, he did well against Markov. Then got crunched there by Frampton. Very legal but hard bump. Ball spills backwards. The Pies in control. Loving this game of footy. Noble has a bounce. Aggressive kick. Oh, great mark from Quaynor in his 100th in the middle of the ground. Gave the handball off to Lipinski. To right half forward, Bobby Hill. 70 from goal. Inside 50. De Goey spoiled by Hewland. Well done, young man. Collins then calms things down and gives it to Ainsworth.
Plays on with a hand pass. Surprise, surprise. To Anderson. To Rowell. Back to Rowell. by hand. Give it to Ainsworth again. Through hands, through half-back. Chip to the middle of the ground. Half volley by Flanders in the bullseye. Not a great kick, turned over. Markov scoops it up for the Pies. Hands it to the fellow Tats of Macquarie. 55 out open goal mouth. Doesn't have enough on the journey with the kick.
And he had two out there, Bobby Hill and Hoskin Elliott by himself.
Allard gets back in the moment of need to mark. The Suns have got it. Short chip pass to Andrew. He chips it to half-back for Jeffrey. And slows up for a moment. Jeffrey kicks wide to right half-back for Collins. Suns out of trouble. Collins kicks to a pack on the wing. Spoil made by Kruger, but roving is Graham of Gold Coast. Hands it to Berry. Hands it to Closey. Spearing past a half forward. Is half volleyed and controlled by Long. 55 out. Hand pass to Lukosius. Kicks it to the fat side. What a kick for Ainsworth. That is a brilliant kick from Jack Lukosius. And a great mark from Ainsworth with front on pressure arriving right when he was about to mark it.
One step, he's kicked that 50 across.
And Ben Ainsworth has a chance to finish it off and give Gold Coast a 21-point lead. 21 minutes into the second term. Setting up for the right-footed snap from 35. He's got it! The Suns have kicked 3 goals, 4-0 in the second quarter. And lead by 21 points at Carrara. Gold Coast 7-6-48 to Collingwood. Stuck on their quarter-time score of 4-3-27. Jeff White, Matt Primus.
Just the handball chain again, Whitey, wasn't it? They started with a couple of slow little kicks and then they were able to get a handball chain. And when they start that, Collingwood just they'd lost. Their midfielders can't either run with them or they get 2-1 and then they're getting some really good inside 50s. And the coaches kicked that vision off one step with a bit of pressure coming at him to Ben Ainsworth. And they need to finish that. We spoke about the taking their opportunities when they rise. Well, they have the last couple.
Yeah, and and they're clean off the ground too. There's a few times there where the ball was on the ground and there was Collins and there was Flanders really clean.
Back underway in the middle. Clearance for Crisp of Collingwood. Rush kick towards attacking 50, but the Suns are there momentarily. Ricochet ends up in Kruger's hands. Hand passes on there to Nikos. He kicks it to Jacos. Nick's kicked it to Josh. Josh marks it in the pocket. And that was a beautiful kick from the younger bro under pressure. And Josh Dacos is playing on, 40 out. Right foot snap, he kicks an answering goal for Collingwood. And didn't they need that after 23 minutes without scoring in this second term? The first score for Collingwood in this second quarter is a goal to Josh Dacos. Takes the margin back to 15 points at Gold Coast 7-6-48 to Collingwood 5-3-33.
Yeah, when you need your class to stand up, they're under the pump. As we said, they hadn't scored this quarter. That kick from Dacos on his left with pressure all over him to be able to just put it in a little basket over the top of the Suns defender, and then a terrific finish. Class shines through.
It just well weighted, wasn't it?
Amazing.
Just knew the space was there. Just and the pickup beforehand. Full pace on his left foot. Number 35, he goes all right.
That's class from the pair. What's the collective noun for Dacos? A brilliance of Dacos, I'd suggest.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Back into the middle. Witts versus Cameron. I'll give that one to Witts. A free kick. No, it's a free kick to Cameron. I'm corrected. Now it's back to Nick Dacos from the hands of Crisp. He kicks it inside 50. Spoiled by Ballard for the Suns. At ground level, Bobby Hill. He gathers. He burns him off. He has a ping. And he misses out of bounds on the full. Kruger standing there saying, what about me? It's a free kick in the back pocket for the Suns and it'll go to Charlie Ballard.
The only moving pictures are on the big screen, Pricey.
Fabulous.
Ballard in the left back pocket with a long kick towards the wing. Howe looks likely, couldn't get to the drop. Witts couldn't mark either. Roved by Collingwood's Harrison. Hooks a kick to half forward. Hill has it punched away by Hewland. And the ball's over the boundary line. Score check at Carrara. It's Gold Coast 7-6-48, leading Collingwood 5-3-33. Quentin Hull and Michael Price calling it. Jeff White and Matt Primus, your experts here on Twilight Footy, which has now become night footy here in round 16 at Carrara. Boundary throw in. Witts, first hand, no rover. coming through. Sullivan couldn't really pick it up for Collingwood. Miller has a go for the Suns, does pick it up. Hand pass to Ainsworth. Hand pass is fumbled and lost by Berry. Stolen by Markov of Collingwood. Hand passes to Noble in the middle of the ground. Here's hand pass to Sullivan. Rush kick inside 50. My check, not in the best spot, but he taps it down to Hill. Returns the favour from the first quarter. But Bobby's kick has hit the top of the post, has it? It's a point. Oh, it was the other way around in the first term, but Bobby Hill's left foot snap from 30 hits the post. Suns by 14.
The important 2.5 minutes here, the Suns. They've dominated this quarter. They can't allow Collingwood to score late and go in with a shortened lead.
Mac Andrew plays on from the goal square. Long kick just short of centre wing. Ben Long gets into the back of Crisp. Ball hits the deck. Josh Dacos overruns it. Picked up by Long. He mongrels a kick towards half forward. Howe meets it full-chested. On the bounce, takes it over the boundary line through the interchange gates and will get a throw in as a raft of changes happens for both sides. To go inside bottom coming back on the field for the Pies. It's been a scintillating quarter. It's the Suns by 14 points. Throw in. Witts made his way to the front, but Cameron got the tap down. De Goey enters the fray. The big don't argue against his opponent in Will Graham. Gathers and then kicks it up to half forward. Well done there by Kruger, who got everybody out of the way and then swept a handball to Hoskin Elliott. He's tackled by Collins, still got a handball away to the arc. Myercheck back inboard there to Nick Dacos, tackled in a monster by Nick Holman into the ground just inside the arc of 50. Will get a ball up 45 out from the Pies goal.
The Suns have done really well having a defender to drop off their high half forward to give them protection. That's why the Pies weren't able to play quick then. It's really slowed them up this quarter.
Ball up, 50 from Collingwood's goal. Witts clean possession. Hand to Flanders. Flanders to Anderson. Back to Flanders. Back to Anderson to clear some space. But Anderson's kick is out on the full. Flanders is up to 23 possessions. Anderson's not too far behind. He's 20. He's kicked it out on the full there, though. And Jack Crisp is going to take the free kick for Collingwood. On the broadcast side, a gorgeous night. And Jack Crisp looking to set Collingwood into attack once more. Left foot kick to a pack about 30 from goal. Andrew got as high as Q1 to punch it away from the pack. Sexton Roves hands to Miller. Great tackle, Noble. Ball spills free. Rode by McCreary. Not a great snap on goal from 40 metres out. Up and down. Hoskin Elliott tries to mark it. Couldn't. Ball on the deck. Comes to McCreary. Hand pass over the top ball. Nick Dacos stole it away there from Harrison and then had a fumble. And the ball goes over the boundary line. Harrison was there. Nikos said, I want it. But it's gone out of play. A boundary throw in. Right half forward for Collingwood. Left half back for the Suns.
Oh, that's a monster of a leap. It just went on the replay screen from Mac Andrew. Jeff White.
Q1's the big skyscraper here for those that didn't get that reference.
I was about to say, throw in. Right half forward for the Pies. Oh, a monster of a tackle from De Goey. Dislodged the ball. Picked up by McCreary. Kicked inside 50. Kruger, and then another big fist from Collins, gathered by Berry. He's belted as he kicks it straight down the corridor, gathered by Howe behind the centre circles. Measured a beautiful kick to Josh Dacos. He's got a runner in Crisp, loops the handball over. He kicks it straight into the advancing man in Charlie Ballard for the Suns. Now he kicks it back onto the wing. What a hot game of footy at Carrara. David Swallow now. He lowers his eyes, hits somebody on the lead. It's Ben King, 80 from goal. He calms things down a little. Then, sells the big dummy around Howe. Plays on. Kicks it to the goal square. Pies with the numbers. Lukosius spoils. Darcy Cameron Roves. Give it over to Harrison. Now it's back from Markov. He gives it to Quainer under pressure. Pushed off it by Lukosius. His handball to Anderson. To Miller. Now to Will Graham. The youngster bangs it through. Suns pressure. Caused the goal. And well finished by young Will Graham. 8-6-54 plays 5-4-34, a 20-point margin in favour of the Suns, and we've played nearly 30 minutes of this second quarter at Carrara.
Right. Pressure forward.
Pressure.
The small forwards just got at them, and even though it wasn't quite right on the body, the perceived pressure made Collingwood fumble there. The handball chain came out, and that was a really important goal. 20 seconds left of the quarter. They deserved to go in with this lead at half-time, the Suns.
Damien Harvick was loving that. They showed him on the big screen, but just a relentless pressure to get it inside. But when they're getting it inside forward 50Q, they're getting it nice and deep, but they're getting those small forwards at front and centre.
Here's the ponderance. Question with notice. Is this sustainable for the Suns? Is this high-octane, high-possession footy sustainable against the Premiers? Have a think. Half-time not far away. Witts tapped down, but De Goey steals it for the Pies. Hands it to Nick Dacos through side bottom. McCreary then gets it. What's that?
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball against McCreary. Tackle made by Holman. So a free kick to Gold Coast at centre-half back, and that is half-time. After Collingwood led by a point at quarter-time, Gold Coast has kicked 4 goals, 4 to Collingwood's 1-1 in the second quarter to go to the main break with a 20-point lead. Gold Coast 8 goals, 6-54. Lead Collingwood's 5-4-34. Goal kickers for the Suns. Ben King's got a couple. Singles to Flanders, Holman, Ainsworth, Lukosius, Long. Correct way. And Graham, yes. Graham was the one that I didn't write down, the most recent goal kicker with that snap. Thank you, Michael. For Gold Coast, for Collingwood, Brody Mychek's got 2. Hoskin Elliott, De Goey and Dacos J, the goal kickers. 20 points to lead to the Suns. Jeff White, Matt Promise. The style is cool to watch. Yeah, we're seeing one-on-one. It's quick. And is it sustainable, though, for the Suns, the way that they run and gun this handball against the Premiers? And they're getting a cheer, the Suns, as they come from the ground beneath us.
I think it is if they can play like that quarter, because that quarter, their forwards did a lot of work, but you can rotate a truckload of your players through the forward line. Their mids don't have to do it much, and their backs get a lot of rest because the ball spent the whole time stuck in their forward 50. If, like the first quarter, when it's up and back, you probably can't sustain that, but quite a few of their players would have got a lot of rest then because the ball just lived in the forward 50. So, I think they could replicate that again. Can Collingwood find a way to get out of it? That's the thing, because we know they don't change the way they play. They just keep coming at you. Will they keep playing into the Suns' hands, or will the Suns be good enough to keep denying them time and space and lock the ball in their end?
Well, the pressure's there. The pressure's right in front of the face of Collingwood defenders. So then they're forced to actually bomb it, and that's bringing the Will Powers, Mac Andrews, Ballard, Collins into play to get those contested intercept marks. That lived in the forward half of the Suns for the first half of that quarter. But it's just a constant pressure they've been put under. Then when Collingwood try to switch it, they've been manned up. So it shows that the Suns' offense and defence is really, really structured really, really well. For Collingwood, they've just got to have a bit more poise. I feel that the Suns are a bit more poised. They're drawing the defender, then they're hand passing. Drawing the defender, hand passing. Can it be sustained? Yes. I think it's different. Melbourne last night, it's hard to sustain that because it's brute force. It's tackle, tackle, tackle. This is running and carrying the ball, and you have your rotations, but they're running the ball really, really well. But they're drawing the defender. They're not just getting the ball and bombing it. That's what Collingwood want. That's why Darcy Moore has lived off that. So between the arcs, the handball chain has been really effective.
And they need to. I was listening to Witchy talk yesterday on the radio. They're 6-0 when they win time in front half stat, and they're 1-7 when they lose it. So against this team, with the way they move the ball, it's just paramount that they have to do that. So
repeat that. So time in front half. If they win that stat, they're 6-0.
6-0, and when they lose it, 1-7.
Half?
1-7.
Okay.
So it's massive for them. And
inside 50s are...
Yeah, they'd be all over that at the moment.
Oh, they're just updating at the moment on our computer. There we go. 36-26 to Gold Coast.
What it shows is just the homework of the Gold Coast Suns on Collingwood, how to actually get past their zone. And we've seen slingshot footy from Collingwood, haven't we, in that first quarter? It's
been really entertaining, and Magpies 20 points down at half time. It's
nothing for them, is it?
it's just the storyline, Pies fans. You know it so well, and those broader across the competition. What a setup we've got for the second half here. Repeating that halftime scoreline. Gold Coast 8-6-54 to Collingwood 5-4-34. After earlier today, Fremantle ended Sydney's winning run at 10 by a point at the SCG. Logan McDonald's long set shot didn't have the journey after full time. Dockers won it 15-9-99 to the Swans 14-14-98. The Doggies too good for the Kangas 17 points to the margin there. Western Bulldogs 11-11, 77 to North Melbourne's 9-6-60. In the NRL earlier today, the Warriors have defeated the Broncos 32 points to 16. Warriors 32, Broncos 16. 4 losses in a row for last year's beaten grand finalists. Meanwhile, 20 minutes in the second of 3 games in the NRL today, Parramatta 6 lead Newcastle 0. But here, it is Gold Coast by 20 points at halftime. By the way, messages loving them. The game's been so quick, haven't been able to get to many of them. 0437 774 774 is the number. 0437 774 774. Thanks to Ash in Ararat, listening to a fantastic game. Khan, the Pies. Thanks to Kylie of Daysdale. Thanks to Fran, one of our long-time supporters, enjoying the call. I believe we will get over the line. Yes, she's a long-time old magpie. 0437 774 774 to get in touch with us. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. Half-time at Carrara. Suns by 20 points. More to come on this Saturday of footy on ABC Sport after the latest from the newsroom.
ABC News with David Rowlands. Police are treating the death of a woman in far north Queensland yesterday as a domestic violence murder. A 51-year-old man has been charged with murder after allegedly stabbing a 51-year-old woman at a home in Mile near Innisfail. She died at the scene. Detective Acting Inspector Alina Bell says the pair had been in a de facto relationship.
They were known to each other, and he has been charged with 1 by count of murder domestic violence offence. In relation to the full extent of their relationship, that's obviously part of our investigations moving forward.
Still in Queensland, and police have charged 3 men in connection with an alleged road rage incident south of Brisbane last night. It's alleged 2 cars pulled over on Steve's Way in Coomera at about 11 o'clock after an altercation occurred. A 28-year-old man was taken to hospital in a stable condition, and 3 other occupants of the vehicle also sustained minor injuries. 3 men aged 20, 21 and 36 have each been charged with 1 count of wounding and 2 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm. They're due to appear in Southport Magistrates Court on July the 11th. The Prime Minister's refused to weigh in on Joe Biden's poor performance in the first debate of the 2024 presidential campaign. Some Democrats have questioned whether the 81-year-old should contest the election after he appeared to repeatedly stumble and lose his train of thought during the televised debate against former President Donald Trump. Mr Albanese was asked whether Mr Biden's performance cast doubt on whether he's fit for office.
Australia's relationship with the United States is very strong, and the relationship between the Biden administration and my government is very strong. The American elections are a matter for the American people.
Meantime, the US Supreme Court has ruled federal prosecutors went too far when using an obstruction law to charge hundreds of January the 6th rioters. It's ruled obstruction charges must include proof that defendants tried to tamper with or destroy documents. More than 350 people have been charged with obstructing the certification of the 2020 US presidential election. Justice Department prosecutors have argued for a broad interpretation of the law to include those who broke into the Capitol on January the 6th, 2021, trying to keep former President Donald Trump in the White House. Early results from Iran's presidential election suggest there may now be a runoff poll between the 2 top candidates, a political moderate and a hardliner. Larry Buttrose has the details.
The early seesawing results put the race between reformist Masoud Pezeshkian and hardliner Saeed Jalili. With 12 million votes now counted, around 500,000 separate the two, with Mr Pezeshkian in the lead. Iranian law requires a winner get more than half of all votes cast, or there's a runoff election between the top 2, which at this stage seems likely. The election is being held to replace President Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash last month. More than 60 million Iranians are eligible to vote. There are no figures on turnout yet.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says 10 Ukrainians held prisoner for years by Russia have been released following mediation by the Vatican. Some of the released civilians were captured before the Russian invasion in 2022 during earlier fighting in Ukraine's east. Part of the group arrived by helicopter at Kyiv International Airport, which has been closed since the invasion. Back home, and a stoush has erupted between the Liberal and National leaders in the New South Wales coalition. It comes after opposition leader Mark Speakman removed Nationals member Wes Fang from the Shadow Ministry following the Upper House MP calling Mr Speakman underhanded in a now deleted Facebook post. However, Nationals leader Dougal Saunders has rejected Mr Fang being removed from the Shadow Ministry, claiming the Nationals member can't be stood down in this way. A council in Melbourne South East is working to create an affordable housing levy that would help open up homes to vulnerable people in the community. The City of Bayside, which includes suburbs like Brighton and Sandringham, is proposing a levy of 0.92% for housing projects with more than one dwelling. Mayor Fiona Stitfold says the money collected from the levy would go directly to an independent third-party housing provider like Homes for Homes, which can then use the funds to supply housing to people in need.
24% of Bayside households will require some sort of housing assistance by 2041. So that's quite a significant number. And it's part of us all working together. So all levels of government and industry need to work together on this issue.
This is ABC News.
Wimbledon 2024 on ABC Sport. Hear it live every night on the ABC Listen app. Just search for the tennis button. This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL season. Every match on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
Throw in left forward pocket for the Suns. Witts in the front position. Oh, beautiful ruck work. And a great snap under a lot of pressure. That was Ben Long underneath there.
Witt spikes it in the air. Oh, Frampton is nailed by Long. Ball spills free. Lukosius is there to kick it through from the goal mouth. Billy Frampton's counting his ribs while Jack Lukosius is celebrating with his teammates. Hand passes on there to Nikos. He kicks it to Jacos. Nick's kicked it to Josh. Josh marks it in the pocket. And that was a beautiful kick from the younger bro under pressure. And Josh Dacos is playing on 40 out. Right foot snap. He kicks an answering goal for Collingwood. And didn't they need that after 23 minutes without scoring in this second term?
Quainer under pressure, pushed off it by Lukosius. His handball to Anderson, to Miller, now to Will Graham. The youngster bangs it through. Suns pressure caused the goal. And well finished by young Will Graham.
The 2024 AFL Premiership season.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
Well, this time last year, Collingwood had kicked 11 goals to 1 at half-time in the corresponding fixture, and it was all over. Not the case tonight. Welcome back to Carrara. Quentin Hull and the team contemplating a first half of football which has seen Gold Coast establish a 20-point lead at the main break. The Suns are 8 goals, 6-54 to the Magpies 5-4, 34. The national broadcaster through ABC Sport bringing you this twilight fixture of round 16. A couple of games to come tonight. Reminder, depending on where you're listening to us on your analogue radios, it's either Adelaide and Greater Western Sydney or Geelong and Essendon, or you make your choice with the ABC Listen app, the AFL button and the AFL Extra button. On the AFL button, it is the Cats Bombers. On the Extra button, it's Crows Giants. And you can make your choice anytime through the ABC Listen app to choose whichever game you would like to hear. If you're here with us on the Gold Coast, you'll be going to the NRL game between Melbourne and Canberra. Just the latest in that middle game in the day in the NRL. Where's that scoreline gone? I had it a moment ago. There it is. Parramatta 6 leading Newcastle 0. That's after 25 minutes. That was after the Warriors beat the Broncos 32 points to 16. And if you did miss that AFL earlier today, Freo by a point at the SCG and the Bulldogs by 17 points at Docklands. The numbers to half-time here, outside of the main number, which sees a 20-point lead for Gold Coast. Sam Flanders, 22 possessions for Gold Coast. Anderson's had 21. Miller, 16. They're the top three for Gold Coast. The individuals for the Pies, Nikos, 16. Noble, 12. Jacos, 10. Now, I want to have a look at this handball stat. Gold Coast lead it by, 36 at 107 to 71. The run and gun off the half-back line's been a big part of the way that Gold Coast's gone about their footy. 107 handballs to 71 for Collingwood. Marks 19 in favour of the Suns at 47-28. Inside 50s. Gold Coast plus 10 at 36-26. Contested possession. Suns winning that one by 12 as well. At 71-59, Jeff White and Matt Primus have had a slice of pizza, and they're not only chewing through the nourishment but chewing through the stats as well.
Yeah,
gentlemen, what are you making of it?
You're sort of leading into then the uncontested possessions, and this is what we're talking about in relation to working in numbers. It's 148-94 in favour of the Suns. So the ability to not only win contested possession at 71, that handball chain that we've highlighted in the first half, but the ability to work in numbers when there's a loose ball to get uncontested possessions is a 50. Almost, yeah, what's that? 54 in favour. It's incredible, and that's what Collingwood's got to stamp out. They've got to either press up or actually come back and allow and have, if there's a chaser, have. If you're forward of the player who's got the ball and there's a chaser behind, have confidence in him to actually run him down, force him to kick it. That's what they've got to get back to. That's their DNA. They force him to kick it, so it allows the Darcy Moores to get involved, and then Wooshka, they can use their slingshot footy.
Yeah, you're spot on, Whitey. They're going 1-for-1 virtually, kick for handball, the Suns, which is totally different to what they've done all year. So they obviously come with a plan to get over the top of Collingwood. And normally, as we all know, if a team does handball a lot, you say to your team, right, they're right for a tackle and let's dump them and make them turn them over. But they just can't lay a glove on them. A couple of times they are, and they're putting some okay pressure on, but too many times it's an overlap and then there's an easy inside 50 entry. The Suns haven't quite taken advantage of that. So I reckon Craig McRae will be saying, hey, we've got to get our pressure on them better, not just harassment pressure, but make them turn the ball over via handball. There hasn't been enough times to do that because the Suns are going to give you a chance. They're not going to change the way they play. And if the Pies can do that and get some more turnovers through the middle of the ground, we know that their entries and then their forward six are going to make them pay, but they're not getting enough opportunities at the moment.
Tackling stats, the Pies are plus 20, 42 against 22 for the Suns.
Because of the opportunity price, because there's so much handball, so it invites you to get tackled, but none of those tackles are sticking. They're tackles, but they're not affecting the possession. So the next handball gets away, and then the next one, then away they go. But if they can get those tackles where they either create a stoppage or get a free kick against, or a turnover, they're the ones that they want.
The interesting analogy on this too, Pricey, is that where did the Suns play last week? They played at Freo.
Yeah.
They came back on the red eye, so they've had little preparation in relation to running, and obviously Collingwood's come off the bye, so a lot of their prep has obviously been done in meetings. Like, this is how we want to play. It's totally different style of play that that we've witnessed. We've seen them all year.
Absolutely. This is harking back to, obviously, with the new coach being from Richmond, it's harking back to the Richmond style, isn't it? That run and gun, looping hand.
It is.
Yeah, but it's obviously they've sat down, they've gone, right, this is how Collingwood, this is what we need to do to get over that defensive pressure of Collingwood. If we get the ball and panic and kick it long, Darcy Moore's going to have 20 intercept marks. We can't have that. We've got to be able to use the ball, be patient, draw the defender, like Matty Primus was saying, exactly what they do. Draw the defender, but we've got to have run in numbers. That's why you've got Flanders, you've got Noah Anderson, you've got these midfielders are racking up the possessions because they're working in numbers.
Given their dominance, have the Gold Coast scored enough in that quarter for yours?
No.
And they're only 20 points ahead.
They need to be.
The Pies are coming back, obviously the bye, but previous to that, the previous week, they're coming from their second biggest ever comeback against North Melbourne. They came back from 54 points down.
Yep.
So 20 points isn't going to hold any fears for the Pies.
That's a goal in a sense.
Yes, as we said, the collective amount of Dacos will take 5 minutes to evaporate a 20-point margin.
And you
a marvel of Dacos?
Oh, no, that's too sponsored.
I'm thinking about his
old man.
His dad's
Macedonian marvel.
Yes.
Yeah.
A marvel of Dacos.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll go with that one. I don't mind it.
But you spoke about the inside 50s in favour of the Suns. Full credit to the Collingwood defence. You know, even though they're not getting the intercept marks, which is a really strong part of their DNA, geez, they're working well in numbers.
Interesting here. Unless Collingwood gets flogged, I mean, our opinion about them is not really going to change. This second half is all about the home team.
Yeah.
All about the home team, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we know that Collingwood are going to ask the question of them, and they already get time in their front half. How do they stand up under the pressure of Collingwood coming at them, and also if the scoreboard goes against them? Exactly right, Q.
I mean, you learn everything in every moment of footy, but I think you get my generalisation.
And someone's coming off a bye, and someone's coming off from a trip to Perth.
Well, that's right. Short turnaround for Gold Coast, coming back from the West Coast. And, well, dare we suggest that Pendlebury, Myercheck, De Goey, are they a bit underdone? It hasn't just been a week or so's rest. It's been significant outs for those guys. Or are they absolutely full of running and ready to produce yet again?
Second half.
Another Collingwood master class in the second half. What a tantalising setup we have got here. As I mentioned, so much better than last year when there was so much expectation around this game. A similar setup. What are Gold Coast worth? How good are the Pies? Well, it was 11 goals to 1 at half-time. Collingwood flogged them. Today, it's 20-point the lead to Gold Coast as we start this third term. Enjoy it with us on ABC Sport. Here's Michael Price.
Beautiful clear night on the Gold Coast for footy. 19 degrees right now and a perfect bounce to start the second half. Cameron gets it down, but it's intercepted by Rowell. He's immediately tackled by Pendlebury. And the umpire will come in with a secondary bounce inside the centre circles. Witts gets into the front position. De Goey imposes himself and then shrugs Rowell off with strength through hands. Maynard got it to Pendlebury, back to Maynard. Long kick inside 50. Hill, it's got out the back. Here comes Bobby Hill. He'll gather. He's confronted. It was an awkward bounce. He snaps from the pocket and misses. You just expected Bobby Hill to explode onto that. One behind, and it was as quick as a flash to the Pies. 54 plays 35, 19 points the margin.
But kill the ball to the front, the Suns defenders. Another one over the back. Bring it to front.
Bad bounce for him there, Hill. It sort of weaved away from the goal mouth towards the point post. That's why he sort of missed it in the end. Suns have got it at left half back from the kick in. Hewland's pressured by McCreery, puts a long kick to the wing. Witts comes from behind to crash through Frampton and spoil the pack. Rowed by Flanders of the Suns. Hands it to Long, hands it to Miller, who runs the boundary line on the wing. Kick to half forward. Howe had a look, intercepted enough, and then Moore comes to mop it up for the Pies. Hands to Quaynor, tackled by Swallow, but Quaynor hands it to Moore. Hands through right half back to De Goey. Breaks a tackle, hands it to the wing for Pendlebury. Holds it up for a moment, then hand passes to Nick Dacos. Kick to centre half forward, Lipinski marks. Kick inside 50, Dacos marks. And Josh will have a shot from 30 out, just when it looked like they were in a bit of trouble at half back, Collingwood.
Goey, wow.
They've transferred it to Josh Dacos, who'll have a set shot 45 degrees to the right and 40 metres out.
They got it in the right hands, and Nick Dacos just straightened him up, but just the ability to work.
On the text, Lawrence from Fitzroy text, we call them Dakai. The collective for the Dacos.
Yeah, that's fair.
Here's Josh Dacos. Right foot strike across the face. He's missed it. Behind, 3 goals the margin. 8-6 to 5-6. Suns in front, early third term.
On the very first rebound, the Collingwood were able to shut down the Suns' handball. They did it. They paired off really well. Suns had nowhere to go and were forced to quick kick it. We'll see if they can do that again.
They bring the ball back in, the Gold Coast Suns. It's with Joel Jeffrey. It's a predictably long kick towards Ben King. He fists it forward. There's Nick Dacos over to his brother Josh. Breaks through a couple of feeble tackle attempts. Got the handball away to De Goey. Off a step to the pocket, Bobby Hill. It floated fortuitously just inside the boundary line, and he takes the mark 20 metres out, but he is right on the boundary in front of the small scoreboard.
This is where they set up their set play sometimes.
Now he's facing inboard. He's either going to curl it around with the left or the outside of the right shoe, but he's got his back to the crowd. Now he plays on. It's the left foot curler. It just got to the goal line. Sam Collins and Jared Witts conspire to rush it through for another behind. So 3 behinds to start the third quarter for the Pies. 17 points the margin, 54 plays 37 in favour of the Suns.
Al runs to the pocket, drives a long kick into the Nerang River wing, and Andrew, he got a hand, couldn't mark. Slow recovery from Day, won the crumb, tackled by Sidebottom, holding the ball. Steele Sidebottom with a good tackle on Day, wins it for the Magpies on the wing. His pass is marked by Harrison between wing and left half forward. Harvey Harrison kicks infield to his skipper. Moore takes the grab just attacking side of the logo on the Nerang River side, that grandstand out there filled with black and white jumpers. As the premiership skipper uses his right boot to drive Collingwood into attack. Big packet full forward. Ballard hit the pack, tried to mark, couldn't. Hill roves, tackled by Witts, no prior, ball up. 30 metres out from Collingwood's goal.
The umpire comes in, separates the players, throws it up immediately. Witts tries to extract it from the traffic, off the hands of Degoe. He gets it back, loops a handball to Quainer in his 100th game. A floating mongrel towards the goal square. Ballard almost overran it, then gave it to McAndrew. Tackled off it by Hill, who gathered. He's tackled. Was he taken high? No. Umpire said the ball was wrapped up. He had no prior, and he will ball it up adjacent to the goal square, only a couple of metres out. He comes in, he clears out and throws it up. Witts got it down around his feet through the hands of Myercheck. Then Collins gave it to Jeffrey. Looping handball to Holman. He draws the man, then handballs it off to right half back to Hewland. A long kick to a 2-on-1, and that was easy for Jeremy Howe to float in front of Sam Day and Darcy Moore to take the mark.
Kicks infield to the bullseye. Cameron takes the mark for Collingwood. Kicks it across the ground, laterally to the wing. Quainer grabs it, plays on with a hand pass to Nick Dacos. Hands it to Josh Dacos. 70 out at right half forward. Deep entry to full forward. Andrew flies the pack. The fist gets to the boundary line just. Even though Hill was sniffing around, it rolls out of play before the Norm Smith medalist can get a handle on it, and we'll have a ball in.
Bit of their own medicine here, Q, aren't they? The Collingwood 5-1 inside 50. Just haven't been able to hit the scoreboard.
Boundary throw in. Magpies deep in attack. Through the ruckman it goes. Oh, good battle at ground level there from Myercheck in the ruck. Hand pass not effective. Still on the deck. High contact here for Nikos. Will Powell got him around the ear hole. And Nick Dacos will have a shot from 40 metres out in the right forward pocket.
This is the pressure that the forward pressure that the Suns had in the second quarter. Collingwood have come out, done their homework at halftime.
Nick Dacos. 12 goals so far this season. The man who kicked the first goal in the grand final last year. Eyes the big sticks. Looking to make the margin just 11 points. Beautiful strike from the young champ. Magpies with the first of the second half. Nick Dacos with his first of the night. Collingwood 6 goals, 7-43. Trail Gold Coast 8-6-54. It's the Suns by 11 points, but Collingwood won 3-0 in 6.5 minutes of the third term.
There's the pressure. So they're having that pressure. But when it's come out of their forward line, Darcy Moore, Jeremy Howe, they've got those intercept marks. So they're now starting to swing. You can hear the crowd now too. It's starting to swing it back in their favour.
Well, it's the first time all game they've been able to Collingwood's back set off and set up the wall so they can repeat inside 50s. And this is a question here, a big important centre bounce to see if the Suns can get it down their end.
All of a sudden, Nick Dacos up to 20 disposals for the Pies as well. Back into the middle. Witts puts it forward. Now it's gathered by Rao. He's got a runner and gives it back to Powell. Powell back into the middle. The 1-2 handball with Witts. It missed Powell on the way back. And he went in hard against Josh Dacos. Won the ball at ground level. Gave it to Matt Rao. Tackled. That could have been holding the ball or illegal disposal. It's dropped around the legs of Powell. Some hard tackling going in there. Maynard particularly against Powell. The ball in dispute, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. He throws it up very quickly. Witts grabs it out of the ruck, puts it on the big slipper. Darcy Moore read it best. He spoiled from away from him was Sam Day. The ball spills across the arc, picked up by Rao as he's tackled. Gets his foot to it through the hands of Josh Dacos. On the arc, he's tackled by Closey. Ball underneath the pair of them. Umpire will come in and throw it up on the arc of 50, 45-degree angle to the left.
He's Michael Price. I'm Quentin Hull. You're with ABC Sport at Carrara. Gold Coast lead by 11 points from the stoppage. Graham through hands to Flanders. Suns get the clearance, hands out the back to Closey. From 60, he bangs it to full forward. 2-on-2, no mark. More there to rove it. Hand pass defensively. Frampton makes no risk of the situation. Rushes through a point. 2 goals the lead to the Suns as Howe quickly runs beyond the goal mouth to restart plays. Hand pass to Quainer in the pocket. Didn't work out all that well. Quainer's hand pass is knocked out of play, so the Pies don't get it beyond defensive 50 with that inbound. Boundary throw in, Suns still in attack 40 metres out.
defence by Suns then. It was a quick entry. It was a quick point kick in. They were onto it straight away.
55 plays 43 in favour of the Suns with 9 minutes gone to this third term. The throw in 45 out from the Suns goal. Witts in the front position. Missed the ball. Long, he let it go with Quaynor attached to him. The ball stuck underneath several players and we'll get another ball up 45 out from the Suns goal. The Pies surging early in this third quarter. Masters of the comeback and the close result as well as Witts slaps it down to the arc. Anderson back to Witts. His slipper, it was marked by Sidebottom, but it didn't go the full distance. Play on, said the umpire. Sidebottom got it out to Crisp. He hacked a kick towards the outer wing. Oh, McAndrew overran it. Hoskin Elliott came in and said, it's mine. Gave the handball off to Bobby Hill. He has one bounce. Oh, the kick on the outside of the right shoe was brilliant, but Hoskin Elliott couldn't quite reel it in. Now the Suns, they've got a chance through Hewland. He got out to Ainsworth. Ainsworth kicks it to right half forward to find Jared Witts, the big man. 55 from goal on a tight angle. He wheels around onto his left. He kicks it to the top of the goal square. Ben King's got the fly and there's a whistle on play. Is that a soft free kick? Ben King looked like he got it for a hold.
Frampton over the shoulder.
There you go. Well, Ben King, he had the arm up ready to go. Don't worry about that. 30 metres out directly in front. He'll have a go at his third.
Which you knew what he's doing with that kick. You reckon,
I was going to say, that's, all the Suns plays...
Ruckman's Union.
Come on. I'm agreeing.
Pinpoint pass from Ruckman, 40 metres.
Only you blokes could make a Mississippi Hoper into a tactical move.
So Ben King comes in from 30 metres out and drills it for his third. The Suns extend their lead back out to 18 points, 9-7-61 to 6-7-43 as the bugle rings out here at Carrara.
Score assist to the co-captain.
The co-captain, exactly right. But that was all set up. Collins and Powell, they were set up on their back line, so Hill had the ball, but he couldn't go forward because they just had two Suns defenders set up. He tried to do a tricky one off the inside of his boot. That got the turnover. Suns went back inside 50, and it might have been a soft free kick, but once again, they're looking dangerous when the ball goes in there quickly.
It's just a lazy right hand over the shoulder from Frampton.
Yeah. You just go up with both hands or go to spoil it. And
Matt Primus and Jeff White, your experts on ABC Sport. Suns back out by 3 goals. 11 and a half minutes played in the third term. Glorious conditions on this now Saturday night on the coast. Cameron with a tap down to Pendlebury. Beautiful centre stoppage clearance for the Pies. Spearing ball almost marked by the lead of Kruger, couldn't grab it on the deck, inside 50 for Collingwood, coming through, Sullivan with a hand pass, hoping there for Crisp, it's intercepted by the Suns. Jeffrey is there, helps out, Ballard with a hand pass to Hewland in the pocket, Hewland hands it to Sexton and they run through defence yet again. 3 bounces for Sexton to the Nerang River wing, then he kicks it into Pendlebury, who was 3 metres away from him and it ricochets out of play. Alex Sexton did all the hard work and stuffed up the kick.
He kicked it straight into Pendle's backside.
Pendlebury wasn't even looking at the ball and he's still affecting spoils. He's that good.
That's class, isn't it? Throw in on the outer wing. Witts slapped it over the back. It was roved by Maynard for Collingwood. Kicks it to the goal square or just forward of. Front and square, McCreery off hands. He's gathered there by Collins. He gave it to Hill, who took him on, holding the ball. It was a gang tackle from Joel Jeffrey and Bodie Hewland. Hewland is the one who will take the free kick. Man named after the character from the movie Point Break. Patrick Swayze's character.
That was on TV a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, it's a good film.
Yep.
They remade it. I didn't like the remake.
Yeah. Kicks it to Powell at left half back. Anderson marks the kick from Powell, plays on with a hand pass to Ainsworth, rides a tackle, hand passes to Graham, they've run it forward to the wing, Graham hands it to Swallow, here's the entry inside 50, perfect, kicks it to King, King marks it 40 out, and that's back to what we saw in the first half.
The great handball chain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It just seems to befuddle the Pies. They just get caught 2-1. They don't know who to go to, or if they get too aggressive with it, it opens it up. And David Swallow, an uncontested inside 50, and a beautiful decision.
Well, there's the half forwards. Swallow, Ainsworth, all coming up, getting involved in the handball chain, allowing the opportunity to go inside forward 50 really clear.
And King's got 3 goals already He'll kick from 45, slight angle left. Hasn't got onto that one. It's going to come down about where Logan McDonald's kick came down today. This one goes through for a point, though. Unfortunately for the Swans, it didn't. Freo won that game by a point. That's a behind to Gold Coast. And the lead is 19 points at 9.862 to 6.743.
Howe brings it back in. Once again, it's taken by Scott Pendlebury in the right back pocket. He's just directing traffic and laconically but brilliantly gives it to John Noble. He's 40 metres from his own goal. And there's not a lot of movement in front of him. The Gold Coast have set up nicely. He delivers another 15-metre pass just outside the arc to Josh Dacos. He goes across the arc now to Pendlebury. Pendlebury straight forward. His kick almost cut off but taken by De Goey. This is methodical. De Goey into the middle of the ground. It was read best by Bodie Hewland again. He takes a nice mark in the centre circles and then turns it over. Markov couldn't accept it, but it's taken out of there by the young man in Graham. A long-range kick, and Ben Long says, how about you kick it to me? It went through for a behind. 63 plays 43. It's now 20 points the margin as it was at half-time.
Jeremy Howe runs beyond the goal mouth for the kick in. No real pressure on him. He runs almost 20 metres. Kicks it to the wing. Crisp doesn't mark but handles his own crumb. Then kicks it to full forward. 2 kicks to Hill out the back in the pocket. Can't get there first. He's got help. Kruger taps it back to Hill. Somehow keeps it in the field of play near the point post. Taps it to the goal mouth before it's run through by a point by the man who didn't want death on a stick. Bodie Hewland puts it through for a behind, and it's the Suns by 19 points.
Oh, I'm loving your artistic and cultural work tonight, Q.
I didn't know that Bodie Hewland was named after the guy from Point Break.
Have a look at that, mate. They only spell them like that when they do in Hollywood. Joel Jeffrey now, long kick towards the commentary wing. Sam Day spoiled there by Cameron. He went back and had a crack at it at ground level too. It went through the hands of Ben King. Now, Day at ground level. He got a handball away to Rao, who was monstered, and the ball held underneath him. Josh Dacos was one of the tacklers. To go with the other one. And the umpire throws it up. This time Cameron gets it out towards, and that's a light free kick. Advantage paid. It's Rao now who gathers. Long kick inside 50, and King at the back. Oh, he gathers off the hands of Frampton. King waltzes in, curls it around and kicks his 4th. Once again extends the Gold Coast lead. They get their 10th goal, 10-9-69, plays 6-8-44, now a 25-point margin.
It was a free kick and they just played it on. But once again, just those numbers from behind, the Suns being able to get it inside forward 50, so open for them. They could have raffled it then. They had 3 going into the goal square.
And outside of the collective storylines of the Suns trying to prove something against the Premier, trying to win their way to their first final series, here's Ben King kicking 4 goals in a big game. And we've still got a quarter and a half to go.
He's only one behind Charlie Curnow in the Coleman medal race at the moment, 43-42.
He's leading Frampton and Mary Danson more. He's unable to. He's getting engaged by Dave really well, but he's unable to come off his man and help him in the air. He's just late by a couple of seconds every time. 25 points the lead to Gold Coast. That is a game high. Centre bounce. It'll be Kruger against Day. Bounce favoured Kruger. Didn't recall it. Powell crashes through, though, at the stoppage to force a neutral for the Suns. On the deck in the bullseye. Farmed out to Flanders of Gold Coast. Hand passes to Ainsworth. Out on the wing, he kicks towards half forward. Long presents to Mark. 60 out at right half forward for the Gold Coast. Will kick to the pocket. Looking for Lukosius. It's over his head. He's missed it. And Howe takes the grab for Collingwood in the left back pocket. Good late arriving pressure from Crisp helped out there, but it wasn't a great kick. Looking for Jack Lukosius, and Howe called to play on. Chips over the man on the mark to Markov. His partner Becky Kay spent a lot of time playing golf just across the way near your home there, Jeff. They're expecting their first child. It's a very good goal for Becky from the Gold Coast, so she'll probably be back home for the weekend. Long kick from Oleg Markov to the wing. Andrew drops the mark. Myercheck is there to row for Collingwood. Hand passes to Nick Dacos. Kick to half forwards, turned over. Day's in the way for Gold Coast to take the mark.
So Sam Day puts it laterally and finds Will Powell. into the side this week, and he hits Noah Anderson at centre-half back. They flare it towards the commentary wing. Nicely weighted kick finds Holman in front of the opposite number 7, Josh Dacos. Holman now for the Suns. The left footer is good. And it hits Bailey Humphrey, who's on. David Swallow has been subbed out of the game for the Gold Coast. Humphrey now kicks it to the right forward pocket. Lukosius was being shepherded out by Howe. He's going to get a free kick. It was a 2-on-1 in favour of Collingwood. And Lukosius will have a shot at goal 20 metres out at a big angle to the right.
It was a great kick from Humphrey. He just put it to the weighted side, and all the coaches had to do was try and protect that space. And that's forced that free kick.
It's just a panic, wasn't it, from an experienced player?
Yeah.
Jack Lukosius, this is only his 9th disposal, but he's already kicked a goal and had 4 involvements. He's on a pretty dramatic angle to the right. From 20 metres out, not a problem. Gold Coast responding well in this third quarter and extend their lead yet again. 11-9-75, play 6-8-44. They're up to a 31-point lead, game high.
It's been a great response. The first 5 minutes after half-time, the Pies came out. They were able to hold the ball in there, take away all the time and space of the Suns and kick a couple of goals. But since then, they've just announced themselves, I don't know, what's that, 3 or 4 goals in a row here. And the Pies just cannot slow them down at all, either from full length of the field or out of a stoppage. It's just flowing inside 50 far too easy, putting their back six under real pressure.
Won't be the first to be made a fool of by Collingwood, but they are on wood right now, I think. No pun intended. I reckon they're just about gone tonight.
They could really stamp another quick couple of goals here because they look devoid of...
Famous last words, it's 31 the diff. They came from 54 down last start, but...
They're getting slaughtered in the midfield.
It's the way of the game. Real concern for the Premiers here as the Suns get another clearance. Miller receives a hand pass from Rao, kicks to half forward. Quaynor in the pack, brings it down to Maynard. Collingwood win the ball. Maynard kicks it back to the bullseye, through to Goey's hands, but roved out the back by Lipinski. Hand pass to Pendlebury, 60 out, 50 out, left foot kick from the champ. They just don't go away. I knew as soon as I said something dumb like Collingwood might be in trouble. Who comes and kicks the goal? Scott Pendlebury. He was cruising to attacking 50, and it's Federesque, the lack of energy that he spends in doing brilliant things. Scott Pendlebury. That's a goal much needed by the Pies. 25's the margin to the Suns at 11-9-75 to 7-7-49. Pendles has got his first of the night.
Is that? Let's see. Has he kicked his 199th
goal?
199th goal? Is it his 200th goal?
That's his 199th.
There you go.
Not a bad rate. 199 goals, 121 behinds over his career as well, so he doesn't miss much. Now Beau McCreary has been subbed out of the game and the youngster Joe Richards is in for Collingwood, so both subs activated. It's the Suns with the clearance. It goes back to Jared Witts. To the top of the square. It's Clusey. No, it's Lukosius who goes across the front of the pack. I thought Ben King was going to have a crack at that, but Lukosius, who's just kicked one.
What about the pass from
We'll have a third.
Yeah.
It's out of the square.
No, I didn't call it as a pass because the loping great ruckman put the size 26 slipper on it again.
It might have spun horizontally.
Doesn't matter.
It was a helicopter. I will give a goal assist regardless if he puts it through. Lukosius for his third from 25 out. Oh, he's hit the post 2/3 of the way up, and Braden Maynard lets him know about that one too. 76 plays 50, 26-point margin in favour of the Suns.
That's a poor miss.
Yep.
As more runs beyond the goal mouth, that's a poor kick in. He's kicked it straight to Ainsworth. Marks at 60 out for Gold Coast at right half forward. Chips it over the man on the mark to Humphrey. Takes the grab.
He's
right on 50.
Sorry, Q. He's injected some enthusiasm already as a sub.
I just can't wait to call this guy's career. He's got the long-term deal, Bailey Humphrey, through to 2028. He was part of they picked him up with part of the trade with Isaac Rankin going to Adelaide. And he's got the ink work now down one arm into his second year of footy. Man on the mark's 50 out. Bailey Humphrey booms it across the face, comes down in the opposite pocket. King spoils the pack. Holman roves it, bounces off a tackle, gets a hand pass out the back for the Suns. It goes from Berry to Miller. Miller has a snap, and he's missed it. Near side for a point 27 the lead to the Suns. 24 minutes played third term. It's Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Maynard plays on quickly for the Pies. Oh, straight down the commentary wing. Joe Richards with his first touch of the footy off the back of the pack. The handball inboard to De Goey. Oh, De Goey saw a man with just a little bit of space. It was Lipinski, and he hit him pinpoint. 30 out directly in front. What a kick from Jordan De Goey, Whitey.
Yeah, but over the back again. That's the Suns not being able to kill the ball, but the acceleration of Collingwood, the slingshot footy coming through the middle. So, it's outstanding.
Good touch from Joe Richards inboard to De Goey as Lipinski now to answer the Gold Coast goal. Comes in from 35. And he's missed. That's a shocking miss. A couple of misses that both sides would want back. 77 plays 51, back to 26 points the margin as the Suns bring it back in. Joel Jeffrey's got it.
In the left back pocket, Kruger standing the mark very aggressively like an albatross with his wingspan out there. Jeffrey kicks to the wing through the hands of Mac Andrew. Onto the deck. Berry slaps it forward to the Suns. Good play. Picked up by Long. Handed to Ainsworth. Ainsworth from the wing. Chips to half forward. Lukosius marks. Too far out to score even for his boot. Chips it to the pocket in front of Day. And Day at night for the Suns takes the mark in the pocket.
This is the strength of the half forwards. When the half forwards come up, there's nothing in front of that key forward. Day just held himself back, and Lukosius brought him to the ball. Brilliant kick.
Sam Day, 31 years of age, 154th game. He's been there from the get-go. This to give his team a 32-point lead against Collingwood. He slams it through with his right boot. And the players come to celebrate with him. The Bugle heralds a game-high 32-point lead for the locals. It's Gold Coast 12 goals, 11.83 to Collingwood 7.951. Jeff White, Matt Primus on ABC Sport.
Well, they've been able to flip around this quarter, Whitey. They can score by locking the ball in, but they've been able to score coast to coast, haven't they? Like that one there. That was from a kicking, but they've done some when they won the ball back in their back 50. They're scoring at will, and they're able to get through Collingwood's whole team defence at the moment. That was a beautiful finish by Sam Day then.
So when you look at the half forwards now, you've got Berry, Long, Long and also Took Miller. So those are the guys that are coming up aggressively, getting involved in the arcs. That means that the Collingwood defenders have to be accountable for them because they're getting involved in their handball chain, allowing so much space for the Suns.
And McCreery, who's been subbed out for the Pies, has ice on his right calf.
And we get back into the middle. Cameron slapped it basically to his own advantage, gathered it, kicked it inside 50. It's roved by Richards, kicks it to the top of the square. Hill spoils, gathers, get the handball to Lipinski, and he's worried off it. He still kicks it. Oh, boy, does he kick it. It's floated through for a goal to the Pies. An immediate answer. 12-11-83 plays 8-9-57, and it's back to 26 points here at Carrara.
What a finish. I thought he kicked it in the guts and it went up for a floater, but it came back beautifully.
Michelle on the text has got me. She goes, calling against Collingwood already? That's brave. Yeah,
yeah, good luck.
0437 774 774. They've looked... They look right at the edge of it here, the Pies.
What they haven't been able to do is...
The margin's not the issue. No. It's just the flow of the game, in my humble.
And they haven't been able to get a goal and then another goal and another goal. They get one and then the Suns are able to quell it, kill the game for a few minutes, and then they get a couple back. Can they get a repeat goal with a minute 30 left, the Pies?
If I'm wrong, I'll be like the sinners at Christmas, just joining a large brigade that have made mistakes about Collingwood being out of a game. Well, it's a rip-up. Back in the middle, Rowell will get the clearance for the Suns. Hand pass is a little bit wide of Flanders, who's knocked off it by Josh Dacos. Here comes Richards. He's tackled to the deck by Powell. Ball still in the centre of the ground. No clearance, and the umpire comes in to ball it up. 0437 774 774 if you want to send a message, by the way. as Cameron knocks it down away from Witts, punched forward further by Nick Dacos, kicked out of the air by Sullivan into attack for Collingwood. Hills lurking in the pocket, Ballard beats him to it, kicks it off the ground to no great effect, knocked on by Powell. Lukosius had it, got a hand pass to Rowell, just hands it on to Andrew. Rush clearance for the Suns from defensive 50. Witts met it, dropped it on the wing, picked up by Nick Dacos of Collingwood, hand pass to Quaynor, hand pass to Cameron on the wing. Rush kicked to forward 50. Flanders is in the way and takes the mark for Gold Coast at defensive 50, left half back.
Disposal number 28 finds Matt Rowell, only about 15 metres, just 15 metres forward, as Pendlebury stands the mark for Collingwood. Rowell goes long down the line. He's going to look for Sam Day. And/or Witts, who went up with one big mitt, gathered, gave the handball to Humphrey. Humphrey now kicks it towards Lukosius, who nudges Will Hoskin-Elliott out of the way, but then he recovers beautifully. Hoskin-Elliott gathered the ball, puts it out to left half back. It bounces kindly for Richards. He delivers it lace out to Kruger. That's a great kick, nice mark. Right on on the outer wing, the Nerang River side of the ground, as Kruger just settled things down and just gestures towards his teammates as the siren goes for three-quarter time. He's not going to have a shot from there. It's 100 metres out. 83 plays 57, a 26-point margin at three-quarter time after the Suns led by 20 at half-time. The Pies led by 1 point at quarter time.
The Gold Coast in that term kicking 4 goals, 5 to Collingwood's 3-5. Yep, 4-5 to 3-5 in that term for Gold Coast. 12-11, 83 plays 8-9, 57. The Suns haven't lost at home this season. Their win-loss record is 7-7. But the best of those wins has been against Essendon. It was a couple of starts ago. To knock off the Premier, that would be easily their most creditable win at home this season. They've still got half an hour to get through, but they will go into the final term with a 26-point lead. Repeating that three-quarter time scoreline, Gold Coast 12-11, 83 to Collingwood's 8-9, 57. Earlier today, Fremantle beat Sydney by a point at the SCG. The Dogs beat North Melbourne by 17 at Docklands. In the NRL, the Warriors beat the Broncos by 32 points to 16. And early stages second half, Parramatta 12 lead Newcastle 10. Three-quarter time at Carrara. Suns by 26. Hope you're enjoying Twilight Footy on ABC Sport.
Wimbledon 2024 on ABC Sport. Hear it live every night on the ABC Listen app. Just search for the tennis button.
G'day, Patrick Stack here from ABC Sport Daily. If you love sport...
This year he seems like he's unbeatable and he goes into the Tour de France on paper, perhaps with no competition.
And great conversation.
Currently dancing in the huddle of celebration, and the hamstring seems okay.
Then you'll love ABC Sport Daily.
He probably deserves to play professional basketball.
ABC Sport Daily. Get it on the ABC Listen app.
This is ABC Sports coverage of the 2024 AFL season. Every match on the ABC Listen app.
Look for the AFL button.
It's Rowell now who gathers. Long kick inside 50 and King at the back. Oh, he gathers off the hands of Frampton. King waltzes in, curls it around and kicks his fourth.
Quaynor in the pack, brings it down to Maynard. Collingwood win the ball. Maynard kicks it back to the bullseye, through to Goey's hands, but roved out the back by Lipinski. Hand pass to Pendlebury, 60 out, 50 out, left foot kick from the champ. They just don't go away. Picked up by Long, handed to Ainsworth. Ainsworth from the wing, chips to half forward. Lukosius marks, too far out to score even for his boot. Chips it to the pocket in front of Day. And Day at night for the Suns takes the mark in the pocket. This to give his team a 32-point lead against Collingwood. He slams it through with his right boot.
It's rowed by Richards, kicks it to the top of the square. Hill spoils, gathers, get the handball to Lipinski, and he's worried off it. He still kicks it. Oh boy, does he kick it. It's floated through for a goal to the Pies.
The 2024 AFL Premiership season.
On your radio.
ABC Sport Digital.
And on the ABC Listen app.
A quarter left at Carrara. The Suns lead by 26 points and 2 games to come on this Saturday night of round 16. Depending on where you're listening, some of you are getting Adelaide and Greater Western Sydney from the Adelaide Oval. The majority of you to head to the MCG where the Cats take on the Bombers, and Matt Clinch sets the scene for us. Hey, Clinchy.
Hello, Q. Yes, it's already been a stacked Saturday, hasn't it, with Fremantle's 1-point win over the Sydney Swans. What continues tonight with the third-place Bombers taking on the seventh-place Cats, and this is adding to the occasion given that all of a sudden Geelong have lost their way with 6 defeats in their last 7 matches after winning their opening 7 matches of the season, but they have had a good record against the Cats. They've beaten them. The Bombers, I should say, have lost against Geelong in the last 6 occasions. So Geelong have the bragging rights. So it feels like it's sort of a test of the Bombers' credentials in their top 4 quest for season 2024. It is also the 250th game for Dyson Heppel, so the former captain becomes the 15th Bomber to achieve the milestone, and Jade Gresham also plays his 150th game. For the Cats, we know there's no Tom Hawkins, most likely for the rest of the season, but we get to see Lawson Humphreys, the pick 63 from the 2023 draft. The Western Australian comes in to make his debut. So at 21 years of age, what an occasion to make his debut at the MCG against the Bombers tonight. So the rain has eased around Melbourne today. They're expecting a crowd of over 60,000 for the country game at the MCG. It's Geelong and Essendon. Lauren Borden for the call alongside me with Nathan Burke and Brent Harvey. We can't wait to bring it to you after UQ at Carrara.
Good on you, Clinchy, and you can choose whichever game you'd like to listen to on the ABC Listen app, the AFL or AFL Extra button. Geelong and Essendon at the MCG, and Adelaide and Greater Western Sydney coming your way. Of course, our local radio audience through South Australia and news radio audience through New South Wales to get the game from South Australia. Yes, no. Collingwood win it from here. They're 26 points down. Can the Suns finally sort of make the most of this opportunity that they get when everyone's looking at them and the premiers are in town?
Well, this is when Collingwood play their slingshot footy. They'll go for it. They'll play on at every opportunity. They'll get run from behind. So this is where the Suns have got to be onto it. They've got to be really mindful of that spread, that ability to cut through the defence. So I think the Suns hold.
Yeah, among friends, I reckon the Suns get them today. I don't think Collingwood can come back tonight. What do you reckon, Matt?
I think the Suns hold. I was just reading our champion stat. Collingwood has trailed at three-quarter line 27 times since 2022, winning 14, losing 13 at a win rate of 52%. The next best is 20% at Sydney.
And most of those have been at the MCG, though.
And they do it again.
What do you reckon?
Suns.
No.
Suns.
We're going Suns. What do you reckon, Pricey?
I reckon Suns.
Okay, well, watch out, Gold Coast. The 4 of us have lost them.
We've jinxed it. There has been a change on the field as Jeremy Howe, like they did against North Melbourne, has gone deep into the forward line.
Yep.
Well, this last term begins. Gold Coast 26 in front. Witts and Cameron tangle in the ruck. Rove by Graham of Gold Coast. Taps it off the ground to Miller. Under pressure, his hand pass finds Witts. Under pressure, his hand pass finds Flanders. Kick is smothered at centre half forward. Side bottom has a fumble. Flanders picks it up for the Suns. Hand pass over his head, or 2 Suns spoil each other. Quainer comes in, gets tackled. And it's a ball up. Graham and Humphrey were there for the ball, and they both went for it at the same time. And as a result, Quainer gets it, then gets tackled. Ball up, centre half forward for the Suns.
Umpire throws it up, double-handed by Witts forward. Josh Dacos bumped off the ball and it went with him. Noble, he picked it up, gave it back to Nick Dacos. He toes it forward. Sexton gathers it, centre half forward, still inside the centre square. He's tackled into the ground there.
Josh Dacos is still down. He's looking at it, he's feeling his shoulder.
Well, thrown up there at the centre half forward position for the Suns. It was gathered by Noble, tackled into the ground by Tuke Miller. Yet again, the umpire's going to come in and throw it up on the arc.
Gun players with shoulder injuries in this game. That rings a bell. Noble gets the clearance from centre half back. An errant kick, though, straight to Sexton for the Suns on the wing. Marks it and chips wide to Ainsworth. 70 from goal. Ainsworth will kick to the pocket, hoping for the lead. If Day doesn't get there, Flanders floats back, couldn't mark. Crampton doesn't up to spoil. Rove, though, by Miller of the Suns. Hands to Holman. Holman snap is punched through for a point by Steele's side bottom on the last line of defence. Suns by 27 at 84 to 57.
So the Pies want to bring it back in quickly. Playing on is Maynard, straight up the middle. De Goey beautifully spoiled there by Will Powell. In fact, he gathered it on the second grab and was paid the mark. Now Powell, straight back to the goal square, looking for Day. It went wider towards the pocket, skidded off the Carrara turf, over the boundary line. Will get a throw in the left forward pocket.
Needed just to put that at the top of the square. Day was One out with Queener.
He had a one-on-one with a 2-foot advantage over his opponent, Sam Day. The kick just misguided. The throw in, left forward pocket. It's Witts versus Cameron. Missed by both. Rove by Miller. Tackled by Josh Dacos. Didn't get his foot to the ball. Holding the ball. Should be. And it'll be a free kick to Josh Dacos with his back to his own goal, only 20 metres away. John Noble loops around the back of him and receives the handball. Has a bounce, lowers the ice, hits Pendlebury at centre half back for the Pies.
Taking a moment to assess his options. Pendlebury uses that trusty left boot. Precise pass to half forward. Mychek doesn't break stride to mark a kick and a half from goal. Kicks it into attack. Hold on, whistles on play to go. He's marked it, unmarked in the pocket. There's going to be a free kick at centre half forward to Nick Dacos.
You would take the to-goey inside forward 50.
Yeah, that was a disadvantage. So Nick Dacos plays on, kicks into the man on the mark. Great smother, Graham. And then the smother went to Witts. Stolen by Dacos. Brilliant read of the play. Hand passes from Harrison onto Hill, and Hill kicks a miraculous Collingwood goal. That is mastery from Nick Dacos. Harry Potter's got nothing on this bloke. How did he know what was going on there? 21 points is the lead to Gold Coast as Nick Dacos turns a personal mistake into a Collingwood goal.
You can see the energy already, the ability to play on, get it going. The energy's there. They just got. This is when Collingwood just get on their bike and just go.
That was 24 disposals for Nick Dacos. He's got 5 clearances now and 6 score involvements. He's a special talent.
Bobby Hill's first goal of the night, by the way. He's been around it a lot, Pricey.
He's had a fair few cracks. Charlie Ballard's been nervous when the ball has hit ground level. He's usually a master in the air, but gee, Bobby Hill would send your heart rate up. Back into the middle. Witts gets it down. The clearance through Tuke Miller, but he leaves the ball behind. Enter Jack Crisp for the Pies. He gathers, curls it in with the left foot. Howe presents. Handball back to Nick Dacos. A dribbler. It's hit the post at the base. Yes, it has. Indeed, he's almost set Carrara alight again, but it's only a 20-point margin in favour of the Suns. 84 plays 64.
Just shaved the padding of the post. Long kick in. Powell marks defensive 50, right half back. Good kick in. He's got space to run 10 metres. Drives the ball to the wing and Witts meets it to take the mark for Gold Coast. Right on halfway.
He's done a good job getting down the line tonight. Big Witts.
Slices off a short pass boundary side from Miller. Co-captain to co-captain. Tuke Miller on halfway. Near the interchange gates. Runs 5 metres, drives the kick towards the pocket. Day's in front and juggles the mark. Beats Frampton in the contest. And Day lining up for a set shot from 45 out. About 5 metres in from the boundary at the right half-forward flank.
Eddie, I love this setup where Witts has worked really, really hard off the ball running to get down the line and then allowed for Day and King to stay a lot deeper. So his work rate's been great.
This will take a really good set shot from Sam Day. Walks over the painted 50, strikes it from 45 out. Good looking kick. It's just across the face though for a point. Suns by 21.
And
12-13, 85 to 9-10-64.
Sorry, Q, they've also been great at tying up more. Yeah, we have not seen him come off his man and air assist much at all.
Well, John Noble just sprinted out of the goal square and the kick lands just short of the centre circles. Sam Collins fisted forward. Rowe front and square by Miller. Dragged in the handball. Ainsworth. He gave it to Holman. Holman into the pocket. A 2-on-1. It was the Pies spoiled over and it's a free kick. Who's it going to go to? It'll go to the Suns. The Pies had 2 players there.
Against Darcy Moore, high on Bailey Humphrey.
Well, John Noble slow to get up, but Bailey Humphrey's going to have a shot, and he'll have it from about 10 metres out, a very sharp angle to the right. Pies fans here at Carrara, and they are here in number, do not like it. Bailey Humphrey is facing the middle. He's going to curl this one around. He takes a really big, deep breath. The Collingwood crowd boo. Bailey Humphrey hits the fat side of it. It goes to the opposite side of the ground out of bounds on the full. A big let-off for the Pies.
And the man that gave away that free kick, the premiership skipper, Darcy Moore, Get the free kick in the right back pocket. Kicks a floater off the instep, which Maynard just marks before the line in the opposite pocket. Plays on with a kick down the line. Looking for Josh Dacos. Good spoil from Holman. Holman and Dacos battle. Oh, Josh Dacos somehow wins it. Comes away on the wing. Chip passes marked by his brother. Nikos plays on. Hand pass infield. Miss crisp, but it's picked up by Pendlebury. Cruises to centre half forward. Ran a long way. Rides a tackle. Hand pass is intercepted. Had no mates. One there by Anderson of the Suns at centre half back. Kicks wide to the wing. Berry marks and runs away from Maynard, who lost his footing. Two bounces for Berry to right half forward. He's 60 out. Deep entry for the Suns. 3 against the target there in King, and the spoil from Hoskin Elliott punches it through for a behind.
Missed opportunity then, a bit more composure, but they are making them pay off the turnover, the Suns.
22 the lead to Gold Coast.
And the Pies are playing super quick, so that's what's allowing these turnovers to occur.
Wayne via Noble, and it went back to Hill. He gave it to De Goey. Now kick to centre half forward. Nick Dacos has it, takes the mark just outside the arc. He points back a metre and the umpire buys it. Still doesn't move the Gold Coast player back that metre. Oh, and the pass into the path of Howe. On a dime for Jeremy, and he takes the mark 30 metres out, more or less directly in front.
So what we spoke about at three-quarter time, they're just playing on at every opportunity, the Pies. They're playing aggressive, hard, take a risk footy.
Jeremy Howe instrumental in that 54-point comeback against North Melbourne 2 weeks ago when he was moved up forward. He has got 2 goals, 2 for the year. From 30 metres out. Now he's got 3. The Pies move closer. 12-14-86, plays 10-10-70. Back to a 16-point margin, 9 minutes gone, the final term.
I reckon this is when they get Holman to run with Nick Dacos.
He started with him Whitey on the wing, but he goes back to support his defence. But I reckon they might say, hey, don't worry about helping out a defence, just take this guy out of the game. What they're also doing, they're 3 Collingwood deep forwards are going playing right in the goal square. So Mac Andrew and Collins are deep in the goal square. They're lengthening the field, and that's why there's a truckload of space when they go inside 50. Good coaching, only if the ball can flow faster.
There's rarely a neutral surrounding Collingwood, but I think you get what I'm saying. From a neutral's perspective, for the past 2.5 years, they've been the best bang-for-buck team to watch in the comp. Yep. They're doing it again. It's just entertaining, thrilling, brilliant Australian football. Hearing it through the national broadcaster on ABC Sports, Suns lead by 16 points over the Premiers. Centre bounce, no clearance, up will come in to throw it in the air once more. Collingwood trail by 16 points from the stoppage. Clearance for Anderson for the Suns. Rush kick inside 50. A devilish bouncing ball. Quainer first to meet it. Dropped it from the tackle of Berry. Play on. Lukosius had it. Got rid of it. Just it's in the pocket. Long for the Suns. Under pressure. Hands it backwards. Lukosius toes it to Holman. He's 50 out. He is swarmed upon and tackled by 3 Magpies. Ball up at right half forward for the Suns. 60 out.
Oh, the Magpies, who outnumber almost the Gold Coast fans here, love that tackle as Maynard limps away from the contest. Umpire throws it up. Lipinski, handball out to Pendlebury. Pendlebury's floating kick to the wing, and Hewlin spoils Nick Dacos over the boundary line. There'll be a throw in.
And Maynard off the back, he's in trouble.
He is limping.
He's in a lot of trouble.
He's going to be limping towards the interchange gates. They've already got John Noble.
It might be his right knee.
John Noble is injured on the bench as well.
And Bo McCreary's done a calf as well.
He's already been activated, the sub, Joe Richards. Now, De Goey at the back of the contest, looping handball is good to mark off into the middle of the ground. Lipinski to right half forward. He presents. It's Howe in front of Mac Andrew. 80 from goal. He's got a runner. He gives it to him. It's Hoskin Elliott smothered. The ball bounces freely inside 50. Side bottom presents from 40. Steals side bottom, the left foot curler. Oh, they let it go. Sullivan at the base of the pack has it. He's tackled into the ground. Ball stuck underneath. The umpire will come in and ball it up next to the point post.
12.5 minutes left in the term. Heaps of time. 16 points is the lead for Gold Coast. Ball up with Collingwood deep in attack. Kruger tried to palm down to no great effect. Bobbles around. Hand pass from Anderson of the Suns to Sexton clearing kick beyond defensive 50, bounces near the boundary line, then out of play. Berry was in close proximity, no thought of insufficient there. Boundary throw in, right half back for Gold Coast, left half forward for Collingwood. Quentin Hull and Michael Price calling it. Jeff White and Matt Primus, your expert on ABC Sport. Gold Coast 12-14-86. Collingwood 10-10-70. 12 minutes played, about 12 to go in this final term. From the throw-in. Clearance for Collingwood to go. He had it, lost it. Oh, he had it and then he just slipped it from his hands. He tapped it straight to Anderson. Handed it to the middle of the ground. Miller couldn't pick up, but he kicks it off the ground. Not a great kick. Straight to Hoskin. Elliott at centre half back for Collingwood. He kicks it up in the middle of the ground looking for Dacos. Spoil came from long. Picked up by Andrew of Gold Coast. His hand pass to a 2-on-1 against Closey. Make it 4-on-1 against him. Lipinski picks up, play under advantage. Hand pass to Richards. 70 out, kicks Collingwood into attack. Target Kruger. Collins the spoiler. De Goey the rover. He runs onto it 50 from goal. He's in Dusty's pocket. He shoots. He's as bloody good as Dusty. Oh, yeah! Only Dustin Martin can do that. Unless you're Jordan De Goey. 10 points the margin. And there's a shot on the big screen of the opposite coach. And even Dimmer's smiling at that one. Because he was coaching that day when Dusty kicked that goal against the Dogs in 2020. And that is the only one that's anywhere near the top draw like that.
He come from nowhere. He just broke the tackle. Probably 2 tackles. Let's make it 10.
He had no right. He ran across the arc of 50. He was on the boundary.
And you can see the crowd behind him over. They saw it straight off the boot. You should have seen the crowd erupt.
All of a sudden, Jordan De Goey's got 18 disposals, 2 goals, 1 and 11 score involvements. The Pies within 10 points. They are the masters of the comeback. They're doing it again here at Carrara. Into the middle, Witts promotes it forward. Now Rowell hassled off it by Crisp. Josh Dacos to his brother Nick. Nick, the slipper out wide, finds Crisp. They got their tails up now, the Pies. Handball back to Nick Dacos. Oh, the 9-iron was sublime, but Hill dropped it. Gave it back to Nick Dacos. He weaved, he kicked it, he threw his fist up as soon as he hit it. That is another ripping goal. Oh, hot Pies here at Carrara. 4 points the margin. 12-14-86 plays 12-10-82. 14 and a half minutes gone.
I was just about to say they need to tag Nick Dacos. He's had 5 touches. He's just had 3 then and kicked the goal, so he's now up to 8. This game's out of hand. They're losing their contest. They've got to shut down one of their playmakers. Otherwise, the Pie's going to be in front very shortly.
He's off the ball running. Then the ability to kick it over to space and then accelerate towards the ball and get the receive.
4 goals, 1 to 3 points in this term for Collingwood. And the Premiers are 4 points in arrears.
I don't think I've seen someone put their hand up straight away when they've kicked it too.
Yeah.
So quickly.
I think he put his hand up as soon as he put the ball to his boot.
As soon as he dropped it, he had his hand up.
Now Maynard's on the exercise bike on the bench. They've got 2 injured players on the bench, Pies, Noble and Maynard.
Centre bounce, really important here. Oh, side bottom runs through Rowell. Rowell's down and hurt. Anderson picks up the ball. He's tackled by Kruger. Ball up.
Great contest.
Now Rowell picks himself up.
It's been some amazing one-on-ones tonight.
Awesome footy. Hope you're enjoying it with us on ABC Sport. Lipinski comes through at the foot of the pack. Tapped it to side bottom. Tapped it to Nick Dacos. Hands it to Kruger. It's on the deck. Kruger kicks it to half forward. No one there for Collingwood. Sexton Rose for Gold Coast. Hands it to Jeffrey. Jeffrey to Hewland. Hewland's chip pass is marked by Ainsworth.
Oh, Witts.
Between left half back and the wing. He's got Witts a long kick down the line. Doesn't go there, Jeff. More conservative short pass marked by Jeffrey. Now Jeffrey will kick for Witts. He's still in that space. Moore leaves his man to punch it away from him. And punches it out of play, and I think he's done the old... that knee is doing some damage, Darcy Moore. He's got another victim there. I don't think it's to the same extent of Christian Petrarca, but Jared Witts is slow to get up and is a bit hurt.
He had to be helped up there. Legitimate spoil there from Darcy Moore.
There's more kidneys than ribs.
Oh, indeed. The throw in, 70 from the Gold Coast goal. Witts versus Kruger. Both missed the ball at ground level. Side bottom, throwing his weight around, knocked Ainsworth over, towed it towards the boundary line, and he and Noah Anderson tangle as the ball goes over that line and will get a throw in.
Witts is in trouble. He is He is hurting. He's sucking in the deep breaths at the moment.
17 minutes gone of this final term. It's the Suns by 4 points. They led at three-quarter time by 26. Slapped out of the ruck contest. Crisp, who's been important towards this last quarter, watches the ball go over the boundary line. We'll have another throw in at left half forward for the Suns.
I reckon Witt's going to make his way off the bench here.
I reckon so.
Yeah.
You're right, White. Either that or try and get forward, but he can't move at all, can he?
Yeah, right kidney.
Oof. 4 points is the lead for Gold Coast. Still 10 minutes and 15 seconds left in the quarter. Witts is just pushed out of the way by Kruger. No great tap from Kruger, but Crisp comes through for Collingwood, hands it to Lipinski. Lipinski gets the clearing hand pass to Hill. Rush kick from half-back's not great, met by Collins of Gold Coast on the wing. Hands it to Ainsworth, his kick smothered by Hill. And Hill forces a neutral as the ricochet goes over the boundary line. True centre wing, Narang Riverside. Score check at Carrara. Gold Coast 12-14-86. Collingwood 12-10-82. The Suns did lead by 32 points late in the third term. Now there's less than a kick in it.
And the Pies leading the clearances by 8 now. It's a shallow throw in on the outer side. Kruger got it down. Ainsworth got there first for the Suns. Tackled off it though. The Pies tackling has been superb. Now Jeffrey has it. He just gets a handball away as tackled. Gave it to Miller. Miller to Ainsworth on the outer side. He goes backwards towards Will Graham. Under enormous pressure from the Pies. They just turn it over. No, Miller gets back there. They're still within 5 metres of each other as Lukosius gathers and hits Will Graham forward of centre wing. He's slowing everything down. Now the youngster kicks it into the pocket. Pies have got numbers here. It's a 3-on-2 and it was Noble who fisted it forward. Sorry, it was Frampton who fisted it forward. It bounced at right angles over the boundary line. We'll get a throw in 40 out from the Gold Coast goal.
Suns in attack, but the last 5 goals of the game kicked by Collingwood. Perfect conditions. This twilight fixture's turned into a thriller. Ball tossed in. Lukosius battling with Kruger in ruck. Neither get a telling touch. Pack forms at their feet and Rouse locked up. No clearance and a ball up.
Witts has just come off the field cue, replaced by Sam Day.
So that we suspect is a kidney issue. Ball tossed in the air. Kruger will tap it straight into Lukosius' hands. Falls to their feet. Hoskin Elliott picks up as tackled by Miller. Well, the ball spills to side bottom. He's tackled and it's locked up again. Another stoppage with Gold Coast in attack and leading by 4 points, 19.5 final term.
Umpire throws it up as Witts isn't in a good way. That's thrown out by De Goey towards Josh Dacos. And the outside of his boot, he kicks it towards half-back. Picked up by Markov and then he burns him off. Kicks it down the wing. Howe versus McAndrew. Boy, they both got up high. McAndrew up higher. He fisted it forward, then got the handball back. Off a step towards half forward. Quainer floats to the front of the pack, takes a beauty. Tries to sizzle off a pass and De Goey makes that look embarrassingly good. The kick wasn't that great, but De Goey stronger in the contest.
And taking a moment at centre half back. Kicks it across the half back line, actually inside D50 to Frampton, just beyond the right back pocket. Frampton plays on with a short pass to Lipinski, who marks it 60 from goal. He's defending it right half back.
Maynard just doing a few run-throughs on the sideline queue, looking a little bit better.
Lipinski's long kick to the wing. Target is Kruger, can't mark, rode by Rowell of the Suns, hands it to Anderson, hands it to Miller, space in the bullseye, chisels a pass to Day. Day marks it, just forward of the bullseye, deep entry, Quaynor one-on-one with Humphrey. Humphrey a hand, can't take the mark. Here comes the support. It's Darcy Cameron for the Pies. He gets his lumbering body over the ball. His hand pass though stolen by Humphrey. Finds space in the pocket. Humphrey with a right foot dribbler is near side of the major opening for a point. Gold Coast lead by 5 at 87-82. 21 minutes played final term.
So Collingwood with the ball at fullback. It's Will Hoskin Elliott. He goes straight down the middle. Suns with the numbers, off hands, front and square. Anderson, now Lukosius from inside the centre square. Jack Lukosius launches. It fades late. One behind. Boy, what a kick. 12-16-88 plays 12-10-82. It is a 6-point margin. A single goal in it.
They're trying to go down the middle there, the Pies. They're going to do it again.
Hoskin Elliott roosts it. Towards the bullseye. Meyer check. Big purchase, can't mark. Rove by the Suns. Graham gets a hand pass to Anderson from the centre. Kicks to half forward. King can't get there in time. It's Josh Takos back at the time of need for Collingwood. Wins it in the right back pocket. Finds some space. Does a little turn and chips brilliantly to Richards. And the sub takes the mark beyond defensive 50 at right half back for Collingwood. The Pies have kicked the last 5 goals in the game. And they trail by a straight kick. Richards short pass back to Josh Dacos. Kicked it over the man on the mark to Sidebottom. Just shy of the Nerang River wing. A grandstand which is a sea of black and white. Sidebottom's kick to the leading Howe. Andrew offends. And Howe gets the free kick. Plays on quickly with a hand pass to Sidebottom. Runs the right half forward flank from 60 out of centre in kick. Powell shows courage to spoil. Meyer check, roves and snaps. Across the face for a point.
What a game. 5
points is the lead to Gold Coast on that Meyer check miss to the left. 12-16-88 to 12-11-83, 22 and a half final turn.
Guys have only had 7 inside 50s this quarter. They've kicked 4 goals, 2. Working beautifully. The Suns bring it back in now. It's with Anderson at right half back. Long kick towards the commentary wing. It's going to be a hole. It'll be against the Suns there. Against Bailey Humphrey, it'll go to Quainer. In his 100th, bites off a kick into the middle. Cut off by Graham. Suns with a chance. Handball to Day. Oh, beautiful tackle. Illegal disposal for mine, but it goes back into the middle. It's picked up by Rowell. Handball back to Ben Long now. He flares it out wider, just short of left half forward. Ben Ainsworth.
Got to go to King.
He goes towards the left of the man on the mark and towards King, but it's a 2-on-1 now, and Darcy Cameron easily outstretches him and takes the defensive mark as Ben King pleads to the umpire.
Great work from Darcy Cameron to go back. Witts is not on, so he goes back and is clogging up the hole.
Short pass marked by Frampton at right half back. Long kick to the wing. Howe has been a menace. That's a great move from Craig McRae. He has been huge. He gets offended there, wins a free kick, plays on with a kick to Richards, 60 out, chips it to the lead of Kruger. And Nathan Kruger takes a chest mark 40 metres out. And if his set shot is true, Collingwood will lead. The assignment is 45 degrees to the right. The man on the mark is 35 to 40 metres out, and Nathan Kruger has a chance to put Collingwood in front for the first time since the first quarter. 24-minute mark final turn. Suns by 5 points. Kruger on the approach. Left foot strike. Got it! Collingwood lead at Carrara. It's the same stuff, but it just doesn't get boring. 32 points behind in the shadows of three-quarter time. And now the Premiership Pies are a point in front. 13-11 leads 12-16. 89 leads 88 with 4.5 minutes left on the clock.
Oh, we've had a good weekend of calling, haven't we, Q? Last night and tonight. Outstanding. And what a finish from Kruger.
They should have some dominance in here too with Wood against Sam Day. Whitey, they should look to get really aggressive here and see if they can burst out through the front of the centre bounce. But the Pies' running power in the last quarter, well, where was it for 3 quarters? But wow, the last 20 minutes is amazing.
They're a fast finishing team. They know how to do it in the close ones. Back into the middle. Cameron wins this. Tap down, it comes off the feet of Chris, but gathered by Noah Anderson. Handball is turned over in the middle. Side bottom, kicks it inside 50. It goes towards the pocket. Sam Collins leads in the chase for it. Gathers, the handball is clever outside the defensive 50 to Closey. Closey now into the path of Jeffrey, into the path of Flanders. Still under pressure by the Pies. He flicks it back, and Darcy Cameron turns it over. The kick hits Collins at half back for the Suns. He goes laterally. It's Will Powell now. Still inside defensive 50. Jeremy Howe standing the mark. The Pies have set up beautifully in front of him. That's an aggressive kick. It just missed Day. Chance for Bodie Hewland. Explodes onto the ball. He's got a man in front. He hits him. It's long. Gets inside 50. Has a ping and puts the Suns back in front. Oh, what a game of footy. We are dead set spoiled on the Glitter Strip tonight. The Suns 13-16, 94. plays the Pies 13-11-89. It's a 5-point margin.
And here comes Witts back into the middle, but they did really well then, the Suns, to hold the ball. There's a lot of to and throwing and just have the poise. The poise, and Buddy Hewlin, hasn't he been unbelievable this year?
That breaks a run of 6 goals for Collingwood.
Big answer. And Powell and Hewlin, both their kicks, they went through the middle. They were looking for something. Rather than take the easy wide or lateral option, they actually went through the middle and tried to open up Collingwood and pay dividends.
This is where the experience comes in, though, isn't it? But just to lower your eyes, instead of trying to bomb it and panic, just hit your teammate.
3.5 minutes left. Gold Coast back in front by 5 points. Witts is wounded, but he's in the middle. Does enough to get it to ground level. Pendlebury's there. Somewhat farms it towards Nick Dacos, who's tackled, lost it. Flanders for the Suns. They'll get the clearance. Hands it to Powell, who was running off half-back. Powell long kick to a 2-on-2 at attacking 50. To the deck of the big men. Moore and King tangle. It's on the ground. Shuffled to Ainsworth in the pocket. Left foot snap from Ainsworth. Puts Gold Coast 11 points clear.
Oh.
Ben Ainsworth's second goal. 2 on a flash for the Suns. And they crack the ton at Carrara. 14-16-100. Leads 13-11-89. And the specialists in the clutch are going to have to be as good as they've ever been to get out of this one. With 3 minutes to go, it's an 11-point lead to the hosts.
Flanders' ground ball was outstanding to Powell, which then got them on the outside. But once again, his ground ball inside and the finish by Ainsworth.
Let's talk about Long. He had to sit under that drop of the ball under enormous pressure, brought it to ground, got on his feet, was able to then hit it forward to Ainsworth, who was able to finish off. Long's been instrumental tonight for the Suns in the forward line.
It's been exceptional. Now the big man Witts imposes himself again, gets it back to Anderson, then back to Flanders. They have been prolific, the pair of them. He kicks it to half forward. Lukosius spoiled. Front and square was Rowell. He did a 360 as Lipinski tackled him into the ground, but the umpire quickly says, I'll come in and ball it up. He gets everybody out of the way and throws it up immediately. Witts versus Cameron. Cameron gets it down into the path of Pendlebury. He toes it forward. Crisp, tackled by Holman. Got the handball away to DeGoey. Straight down the middle. Handball to Bobby Hill. Tackled off it by Noah Anderson. He gave it over to Holman. He's turned it over now. No, he hasn't. Noah Anderson toes it off the deck to Ainsworth.
Clearing kick along the wing. King the target. Great spoil from Moore, but Hewlin roves on the wing. Hands it to Miller. 70 out. Kick is smothered by the oncoming Cameron. Big defensive play from Darcy Cameron. Pendlebury rose, but turns over his handball. Ainsworth's got it for the Suns. Grubbers it to full forward. Long can't gather on the bounce, but taps it, hopefully. No one there for the Suns. Lipinski picks it up for the Pies. Hands it to Crisp. Crisp tackled by Rowell. Got rid of it. Umpire says, holding the ball. Free kick to Matt Rowell at centre half forward, 55 to 60 metres out. 1:50 on the clock. Rowell with a short pass. Marked by Lukosius. He's got this journey in him. He will take every part of his 30 seconds allotted here. Mark taken 50 from goal.
Everyone just clear the 50.
Jack Lukosius. He is all the way back, almost halfway for his run-up. And the man on the mark, Billy Frampton, is teapotting 49 metres from goal. Hands on his hips. Lukosius takes 28 of the 30 seconds allotted before starting his run-up with 1 minute and 8 seconds left in the game. Kicks from 55. It's to the left. It's a point. It's a 2-goal margin, which means even as good as Collingwood are, surely they can't at least win from here.
No.
What have we got left? 58 seconds.
So side bottom, gathers, straight down the middle. They're not going to muck around. Darcy Cameron, he's taking some time. Side bottom, gets the handball received and tumbles it straight down the middle. Mac Andrew, Howe beats him to it, gathers and then hits the pass. He's found a teammate. It's Sullivan. Lockie Sullivan has taken it. 40 out. He can't waste any time. There's 30 seconds left. He goes back from 40 and he kicks it wide, one behind. That should just about cook it. 101. plays 90. 11 points the margin in favour of the Suns with about 26 seconds of the game left at Carrara.
They're going to kick it longer to Witzy's head here, and he can barely move. That'd be the last thing he wants to do.
So Mac Andrews got to come over and help him out.
Al runs to the pocket and does kick it on Witz's head. Andrew arrives, can't mark, stolen by, I don't think he had first bite, but the mark's been paid to Cameron. His kick's a wobbler inside 50 for Collingwood. Bounces. Harrison's got it. He's tackled off it. Miller's got it for the Suns. Hand pass went straight to side bottom. He torps it on goal. Collins marks it on the last line. And Carrara's fortress survives its most credentialed invader. They remain perfect at home, the Suns. They've won it by 11 points over the Premiers. What a game of football. Gold Coast 14-17-101. Collingwood 13-12-90. Collingwood led the game by a point at quarter time. Gold Coast led by 20 points at half time. Gold Coast led by 32 late in the third term. It was 26 at three-quarter time. The Pies kicked the next 5. They got in front, but the Suns kicked the last 2. Gold Coast won it by 11. If you're with us in South Australia, you're headed to the Adelaide Oval with the Crows taking on Greater Western Sydney as the bugle continues to sound at Carrara as the Suns celebrate a meritorious victory. From 8 at home. Wow. 6 here, 2 in Darwin. It's only 1 week of footy, but boy, the Suns got headed by the champs and found a late knockout.
I think the growth of this team is that when Collingwood equaled or got in front
with the Nathan Kruger goal 25 minutes ago.
The ball came out of the centre, and they won the ball on the half-back line, and then they had the poise to go over, and that's when Bodie Hewlin came through, and then they kicked that goal. So they showed poise. They didn't panic. That shows the growth of the Gold Coast Suns.
Collingwood did it as well with Noble injured, Maynard injured, McCreery injured late in the quarter. Now,
I've just noticed Josh Dacos limping right calf.
Okay.
He's got it strapped quite heavily, and he is limping out there in the middle. And McQuarrie obviously is also limping as well with his right.
Jared Witt's hurt, and I heard that Ned Moyle had 70 hit-outs in the VFL today. Ooh. So all of these, these are the subsidiary stories outside of the game. Jeff White, Matt Primus, sum it up for us. Outside of anything, that's the brand of footy that you want to come and see. That was fantastic from both teams. It was an absolute pleasure to be here and bring it to our listeners. That was Australian football at its best.
Absolutely. It's how Dimmer's teams like to play, and they certainly did that. And every game Collingwood playing, it's something to talk about out of it. It is amazing they play like in the last quarter. Where is that in 3 quarters? Can you imagine the damage they could do if you... I was thinking... They play like that early in the first quarter or...
it's almost like, we're behind. Okay, we've got to press this button.
Yeah.
Then we're going.
And
at the start of the game, you win by 10 goals.
Absolutely. But anyhow, I prefer
did that last year.
Yes.
I love it that they keep it this way because it makes it exciting. And you mentioned, Q, great maturity because the Suns would normally fold, and they have away from home, they've folded in these situations. today that was headed by a top 4 team, arguably, and all the momentum going their way, but they were able to win some real crucial moments. A couple of their leaders, Witt's coming back on. He didn't get possession. A couple of his centre bounce stuff was amazing because he can barely walk off the ground as we're watching him now. A couple of their inside mids were terrific, outstanding, great learning curve. Now they've got to go on the road next week and back it up with another win.
There's an unnamed text here. This is the great reach of the Listen app and footy and what it does. I'm listening at Heathrow Airport. I can't board while the Pies are in with the Jams. That's among the texts that we got here. Frank from Panton Hill says, great call, folks. The Suns have the collywobbles. Gone wobbly, playing the mighty Pies. Well, they got him in the end. Peter's listening from the Solomon Islands. Marcus at the Daintree texts. He reckons there is a sun god.
I reckon that sun god might be Noah Anderson. 13 disposals in the final term. Took him to 39 in the game. Yep. Overtook everybody in the end. And what an effort from he and Flanders. And Nick Dacos, 10 disposals in the last quarter as well as a goal and 4 score involvements. The kid is a genius.
So already today, we've got 2 games to come, but already today the premiership favourites who'd won 10 in a row were a chance to make it 11 in a row with the last kick. But Logan McDonald's kick fell short. The Dockers won by a point, and now the reigning premiers get to the front late against a team that's never played finals, yet concede the last 2.
And then we had the game last night.
Yep.
What a great round of
know why the bye rounds are there and so forth, but haven't we been slapped in the face with the start of the run to September?
Go back to what you said then, Q, with watching this brand of footy. It's electric. It's fast. It's great skills. We spoke about the handball chain of the Suns, but we didn't even mention about their foot skills. That's the best I've ever seen their foot skills. About the ability, they're coming through the middle and they're hitting long and goal. It was just exceptional to watch.
11 points, that final margin. I better give the goal kickers. I haven't done that. Ben King with 4. So he's up to 42 for the season. Ben King, 4 goals for Ben King. 2 for Ben Ainsworth, 2 for Jack Lukosius, 2 for Ben Long, single goals for Sam Flanders, Nick Holman, Sam Day and Will Graham, while for Collingwood, Jordan De Goey kicked 2, and that I lost it.
Ridiculously
I absolutely lost it when he kicked that goal, because I must admit, lead into Dusty's 300th. Remember, we got the montage of Dusty's great moments. We saw that goal he kicked here during the COVID season. There were hardly any fans here. And it reminded me of that goal that he kicked against the Western Bulldogs. And that was the spot. I'm waiting for the TV networks to give us the side-by-side of Martin's goal in 2020 compared to De Goey's goal today.
And then can we have the side-by-side with you?
Why not, Jeff? Someone's in the audio room. I think I lost my...
I remember that because you stood up and went nuts, and I looked in the media box and they were all laughing and looking straight at you, clapping their hands, going, what a call.
Yeah, well...
I loved it.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it? De Goey kicked 2. Nick Dacos kicked 2. Brody Myercheck kicked 2. Lipinski, Josh Dacos, Pendlebury, Hill, Hoskin Elliott, and Howe, the other goals. The Suns aren't even in the rooms yet. They're still milling around.
Oh, you'd soak this up.
And usually you'd say, the fans have stuck around to celebrate with their team. But no. The Collingwood mob have nicked off, and most of them have been supporting the team just being sunk here.
What about the centre circle defence?
It
doesn't work. It doesn't work.
The centre circle is usually roped off by a very thin piece of white rope, and there's one security guard. Today, there are 8 orange cones and an orange and yellow mesh around the centre circle.
They've got
to stop the charge of kick to kick.
Someone going to hurdle it, you reckon?
I doubt it.
Bullseye.
There's a couple of Queensland's finest standing in there as well, and I reckon they're right in the middle of the bullseyes waiting for the first little rooster to jump in there.
Wouldn't matter if the Maroons were standing in there. Then someone's going to get through.
Look, and they're rustling the head of Bodie Hewland there.
They've gone
Here
early.
Comes the charge of the Light Brigade.
Gone early.
There's the siren for kick to kick.
And
there's a kid in a Collingwood shirt who's hit the first hurdle but didn't go down.
They're all in.
And now that yellow and orange mesh is a mess in the middle of Carrara. The kids have no respect for the barrier, nor the 6 officials trying to respect it.
It's like that.
Many promises.
There's a photo of that for the ABC.
That scene in Austin Powers where the guy's standing in front of the steamroller saying, no. Just absolutely nailed. There's 150 kids in the centre circle.
We've just seen one of the greatest games of the season. And the simple minds have been diverted very quickly.
You rock up to the first tee, you look the part and you shank it right. That's exactly what happened.
All it took was one kid to take them on, and then mob mentality ruled. Let's get into the Suns' rooms. Here's the song.
That's sung with some passion, Q.
Oh, that last bit.
Oh, yes, indeed.
That was loud.
Well, it's only one day, but it was always built up as an important day. This is a club that doesn't get the national attention very often, and here we are in the crush of the 9 games a weekend in the run to the finals, and Twilight is among the stand-up, well, the only standalone slot on a Saturday. So we started before the broadcast saying that I don't think it's hugely telling to the narrative of the Pies. Maybe of their chances to finish in the top 4. They've dropped the game that they were in front late in. But let's go with the Suns. What's it mean for the group? Matt Primus, Jeff White.
Well, I think they haven't taken a big scalp this year. As you said, they beat Geelong, who were in good form, but it was Darwin. That's a unique environment. They haven't beaten a big scalp at home, and you can only play whatever the fixture gives you. But tonight was a chance for them to say, yeah, we've got some real growth. We're not a team that maybe will push some teams around the 8. We're actually a team that can make the 8 and do some damage in there. And tonight, they controlled the game for a long period. Then when they were asked, like Collingwood do in the last quarter, they were able to respond and give themselves a great opportunity now to get back on the road, try and get an away win, but actually have some substance. Not just, because I reckon the AFL, inside the AFL community, think they're a pretty good team, but outside it, people are still doubting where they're at and all those sorts of things. I reckon tonight solidifies that, as long as you back it up, because tonight's win goes away pretty quickly by Monday morning, but it showed you what they're capable of doing, absolutely.
Well, they get a prime opportunity to rid the narrative of great at home, hopeless away. Nothing against North Melbourne, but they're at the foot of the ladder still, and that's their next assignment. They go to Docklands to play North.
Yep.
So
and North are playing good footy.
Yeah, they're
playing really good footy, and it's a shame that Wardlaw's not playing next week and didn't play today. He's an absolute superstar. But they're playing good foot. But yes, they're going to go as favourites away, and wonderful opportunity. I think this game, and Dimmer will certainly highlight it early in the week, just the one-on-ones that we saw that throughout the whole. The one-on-ones tonight were just unbelievable. The amount of body contact, fair and reasonable, but Flanders, his ability to get off the ground, his contested footy. Noah Anderson, as we spoke about in the last quarter. But they're gaining so much confidence from this.
You've got the votes to give. Good luck. Here are the individual numbers. If you've just tuned in, Gold Coast has beaten Collingwood by 11 points. One of the best games of the season, undoubtedly. Entertaining, high contact, high drama, some superstar moments. Anderson had 39 disposals for the Suns. 33 for Flanders, 31 for Miller, 28 for Ainsworth, 22 for Graham. That rounds out the top 5 of the individuals for Gold Coast. Nick Dacos, 32 disposals for Collingwood. Lipinski, 21. DeGoey, 21. Josh Dacos, 20. Howe, 19. And again, Craig McRae, I love him as a match day coach. Swings Jeremy Howe forward again, and he was an absolute handful. Mac Andrew did not know what to do with him. And actually, I think he got taken off him. I think Dimmer moved Mac Andrew off Howe late in that quarter because he was getting...
Well, it was a guy, we know Howe's amazing in the air, so it took Mac Andrews' ability to mark the ball because he had somebody he'd compete in the air with.
Gold Coast had 72 more possessions. Contested possessions plus 16 to the Suns. Marks plus 21 to the Suns. The tackles, Collingwood plus 21 at 72 to 51. Inside 50s, Gold Coast plus 18 at 68 to 50. Yeah, it's all fodder. You know, the hand pass, run and gun certainly was a part of what the Suns did at the start of the game. Who's on duty?
I'm on duties, yeah.
You're on duty, Whitey.
One vote to Flanders. He was just What about his first half? I think you said it was 24 possessions, but the way he won it was in the middle. His contested footy, he just able to get it out. 2 votes to Nick Dacos, nearly won the game for him again. Just put his body on the line, his positional kicks, ability to bring his players into, and 3 votes to Noah Anderson. I'm not going to go on the stats, but we call it as we see it, and that last quarter he won it. He won it, and you had 2. The guy who got 3 votes won it for his side. The guy who got 2 votes nearly won it for his side. Yeah. That's how we saw it. That's how we called it.
Yeah, and to give you the numbers, Anderson had 13 disposals in the final term. Nick Dacos had 10 disposals. And there you go, without looking at the numbers there, the 2 guys that you thought were telling late. So Anderson the 3, Nick Dacos the 2, and Flanders the 1. Gold Coast 14-17, 101 to Collingwood 13-12, 90. So I mentioned that the Suns' next assignment, well, it's a prime opportunity to bankroll today. Gee, here we are, only 10 minutes after a great game. This will mean little if they don't beat North next week. It will mean very little if they don't beat North next week. But it'll mean something if they do.
Absolutely.
So 9th on the ladder now, Q. They're equal. There's 6 teams on 32 points. The Suns are sitting 9th at the moment.
And the Pies now outside the top 4, pending... Well,
sitting 5th.
Yeah, they'll be outside at the end of the round, but they've got Essendon next week at the MCG. Then Geelong. And by the way, of their last 8 games, 7 of them are at the MCG for Collingwood. Their only away trip is, guess where?
At Marvel?
No, guess where? No. Round 22.
Oh,
Sydney. SCG.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Drooling already, and it's weeks away.
Oh, big 3 weeks for the Pie.
Yeah, so Essendon at the G next for them, and Geelong after that. And funny enough, we're about to head to the Essendon-Geelong game.
And then the Hawks after that. Wow.
And then the Hawks after that.
Don't you love how close this competition is right now?
Yep.
It's just, even North Melbourne, they've only won 1 game. They nearly won the last 3 weeks. Probably not so today, but they played extremely well. But it's so even.
They'll be salivating in head office. Absolutely, the way this season's unfolding. But the Suns, if they could bring that type of football and continue that and bring some consistency away from this joint, who knows what they can bring.
And even though they had that handball, kamikaze style, however you want to talk about the hand passing, especially off the half-back line, I love that style of play. It opens up their forward line.
23,029 is the crowd figure for today. And a good portion of them are now having a kick, and Carrara and the security guard and Mesh has regained control of the bullseye after the farcical scenes. Thank you, gentlemen. Matt, great to have your company. Thank you,
Q.
Gee, we've had a couple of good games of footy back to back. You, Pricey, and I. Good on you, Pricey.
Oh, well done.
Scotty was on the faders at the Gabba last night too. Thanks, Pete. And Craig was back in the studio last night as well. Thank you to Craig Davis, along with Akash Fotadar, who have done the job in the studio. So, Gold Coast by 11 points there. Season record is 8 wins and 7 losses. Collingwood, he's now 8 wins, 2 draws and 5 losses. If you're with us on the Gold Coast, Rugby League coming up shortly. It's the game between Melbourne and Canberra in the late finishing game. Tight finish between the Knights and the Eels. Knights lead the Eels 28-26. Most of you off to Geelong and Essendon, though. The Adelaide GWS game is also available on the Listen app. If you're on News Radio, you're back to the network, but can listen to all the sport on the Listen app. Hope you had fun at Carrara. Suns by 11 in one of the games of the season.